Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to The Voice of the People. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
Every day I'm hustling, 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 hustling. Every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling, every day I'm hustling.
Hey, Daddy.
Every day I'm hustling.
You fight with nobody.
This a dollar beat. This a dollar beat.
BoxingWords.com.
You won the bet with
Hey,
nobody.
Daddy.
BoxingWords.com.
This a dollar beat.
You never gonna get the fight, man. You're a horrible fighter. Payday,
BoxingWords.com.
payday. You want payday. I know that. Oh, look this guy. That's the plan to
BoxingWords.com.
go for the belt, and I'm coming, man. I'm coming, my friend. Get the fuck out of here, man. Please, get the fuck out of here, man.
BoxingWords.com.
Because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
BoxingWords.com.
Good morning, TBV. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode with the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs, joined alongside Solo Dolo, Scarface, no Manolo. I'm back at him. Tank is a star. I told you. Huh? I told you. What did Leonard Ellaby say? Oh, I'll show you what he said. We got a great show, man. We got a great show. Shout out to Ellaby for watching the interview. You know, shout out to Keith for giving me the interview. Shout out to Fight Hype for putting the word out there like a wildfire through the boxing industry. I mean, listen, just understand what you're witnessing is greatness right here. You know, you are getting an opportunity to be in with the future matchmaker, or should I say the future greatest matchmaker boxing's ever seen. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Nestor Gibbs in the flesh, man. When I finish putting this fight together, my resume gonna speak for itself, man. This will be the first biggest fight I've ever made. You know, no other matchmaker in the world can say that. They've never just came out the gate making super fights. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all credit to the greatness that is TBV. You know, our minds here, you know, collectively, we came up with this fight, right? We went through all the options, you know? People tried to throw Jamal James. They tried to throw Berto. They tried to throw, you know, I threw Berto. You know what I'm saying? I was being safe. People tried to mention many names. But ultimately, you know, it took myself to go to Keith Thurman to pitch the fight to him. You know, pitch it to him and say, come on, Keith, I thought you was going to put your name in the hat. And then get the wheels churning in the business. So Leonard Ellaby took to his social media. Shout out to Leonard, man. We're trying to get him on the show. Hopefully this is the icebreaker we needed. Hopefully he realizes now, after meeting me again, you know, at the Tank fight and seeing the growth, you know, because when me and Leonard met in the beginning, you know, there was a lot of back and forth, you know. We have an infamous video interview that we did at the time of the Marcos Maidana Mayweather fight where, you know, I think I wanted the numbers for the Robert Guerrero fight. They was claiming $1 million. I knew it was like 900. We got into it. It got crazy. You know what I'm saying? He like, yo, I got the numbers right here in the briefcase. I'm like, well, show me the numbers. But fast forward years later, you know, he respects what I do. He watches my interviews. I remember the Colbert one, like, you know, we all know he seen that. And I was told that, you know what I'm saying? So now it's this one. And here's his response. We posted it on our Instagram, so you don't have to go looking for everything anywhere. You know, TVB bringing it to you, making your job easier to, digest the boxing news. So Leonard, that'll be on his verified Instagram. You see the little blue check, bing, 2 laughing out loud emojis, right? And he got me with this because the way he phrased it, he got me thinking like they'll never fight Tank. I mean, Tank will never fight Thurman the way he phrased this. Look, laughing out loud, laughing out loud. Tank is not a 47-pounder, and Keith can fight his ass off. He's a guy I got a lot of respect for, but that fight, I'd make it in 2 seconds. Tank would knock him the fuck out right now. Trust me. If he's serious, which I highly doubt that, he's an easy phone call. Huh? That's an easy phone call. So, I hit up Keith last night. I still ain't getting no answer, which I'm a little tight about. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was going to hit me up. I'm like, Keith, I'm about to go live. I swear to God, let's do this. And he ain't answer. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wait till 9 a.m. anyway. So let me know. And he still ain't answer. So I'm like a little bit tight because it's like, yo, we got this one, man. We got it. We got it. It's in our hands right now. The move is on you. Like Ellerby said, it's an easy call. So let's go, Keith. Let's go. I see a lot of naysayers. Oh, Keith. Oh, where's Keith going now? Look at him. He's got to fight Tank. Oh. Nobody was saying about Triple G. They ain't say that about Khan when he was fighting. I mean, they ain't say that about Canelo when he fought Khan. They ain't say that about Kovalev. Oh, Kovalev. Oh, man. Look, he's got to fight a smaller guy than Canelo. Oh, man. Oh, look at Earl. Oh, man, he's such a... Oh, no, nobody likes him anymore, so now he's relegated to fighting a small man. Now, when Earl fought a small man, it was good. Now, Keith get a small man with a bigger name, everybody mad. Everybody mad because they ain't think of it. Everybody mad that Keith gonna possibly get the Tank fight, so it's not a good fight. Oh, Keith a cornball. He a cornball. He want to fight a little man. Oh, my God, look at Keith. He a cornball. No, you the cornball. You don't know shit about boxing or business. You the cornball. It was all good when Mikey moved up 2 divisions to fight Earl, right? Oh, wow, yeah, no, this is a big fight. It's a big fight, yo. Come on, man. Let's go, man. I want these phone calls to get made, Keith. I want these phone calls to get made, Keith. And I got to do a new poll because, honestly, our community didn't think Tank could beat Keith yesterday. I made a poll yesterday, and they ain't think. But now we got to ask Ellaby's question. Can Tank KO Thurman? That ain't, you ain't saying he could beat him. You saying he got the possibility. Can he do it? You know what I'm saying? Can he do it? Yeah, I was trying to match make Tank with Berto being safe. But I'm the one threw Keith's name in the hat. Like, now you trying to steal that from me, Steve Munoz? That's what you do? You run around trying to steal people's accolades or diminish them? Trying to steal my credit for this big fight? That's what you're trying to do? Huh? Damn, vote going crazy. They already think Tank can't get the knockout. They counting you out, champ. They counting you out, champ. But they wasn't shooting with you in the gym, champ. They don't know nothing about that. I'ma just keep repeating, man. What would Tank do to Keith's body? Body, yada, yada, huh? What would he do to that body? If Collazo did that, I'm just saying, I don't even think boxing fans is thinking like all the way clear. What would Tank do to that body, man? I don't know. I don't know, man. I think we discrediting the power that is Tank. I mean, we had a world-class trainer on yesterday, right? Wasn't that a world-class trainer? Say that they think Tank can knock out a middleweight. Oh, that was Bill Haney. He said, yo, given the right circumstances, that man can knock out a middleweight, man. Know what I mean? It's just, can he get to the person to get that knockout over a middleweight? Oh, Scat Rants, we got those all day, man. I'm a 80s baby, man. We got those all day. You want the Fun Flex bombs? What was his tagline? What would he say when he would drop a bomb? He would say something like, I think, didn't he invent gas face or some shit? I know it's a few things. He would drop a bomb and yell something like, word is born. I made that fight. Yo, but damn, man. See, our community, we too smart. They don't think Tank gonna get the knockout, man. Only 34% believe yes so far, man. We got the poll out. I know. Tell him, Mitty, don't you think you're not giving credit to a man who took a body shot but didn't go down? Huh? But that's what I'm saying. Collazo was 40 and did that to Thurman. What the little young Tank who punched like a tank gonna do? Huh? What's that gonna do? That is the question, man. That's the intrigue right there. I can't believe Ellaby said he don't think Keith is serious. And the funny thing is that the boxing world don't think Ellaby is serious. I mean, if you go to his Twitter, everybody like, man, you ain't putting Tank in there with him, man. That's how they acting. Let me go to that Twitter, but that's how they acting. Like, oh, you ain't capping. And it's like, is he though? Is he? Who don't want to see it? We did a poll. Everybody want to see it. They'd rather pay for that than pay for Thurman Porter 2. Look, he doubled down on it, tripled down. Let me show y'all this. This is a triple right here. Triple down. Triple down. Look. Bruh, in nanoseconds, somebody said, man, stop playing. They're not putting Tank in there with Thurman. He said, bruh, in nanoseconds, 100 emoji. Like, test me. Keith, call me. Call me. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody else said, man, Tank loses this fight if it happens in the near future. Tank going to be top 3 pound for pound within the next couple of years, but I just don't see Tank going to 147 and beating Thurman. Ellaby says Tank would knock him the fuck out. 100 emoji. Yo, I need a promoter that gangster, man. See, Eddie does a great job and he got a bigger following, so he probably, it's probably doing better by Eddie because he got that following. But like, I want my promoter to feel that confident with me, even if he capping. I know a lot of y'all think he capping, so I'll say it for you. But I'd rather you cap for me than against me. Let's be real. Let's be real, man. Ellaby got Tank back, man. They really gonna make this kid a star. If you on Blog Talk, man, don't forget, hit that numero uno. I'm not a Puerto Rican, but I'm speaking so that you know. Shout out to all my special ed fans, you know what I'm saying? Yo. Shout out to Ronald Finkley with the super chat this morning saying, chill, champ, respect. Then we got Show Kid that says, do y'all realize for every dollar they give people, they also give corporations 10? Y'all ain't heard about corporate welfare. They scamming us. And these are 2 comments, shout out to YouTube, that allows our uploads to be commented on, which is dope. And because of that, they left these super chats on our episode of Untitled, which we did last night. And we've actually released that version of it absolutely free this morning after 24 hours to give you guys a little taste of what Untitled is and its consistency. It's been about 9 weeks straight, consistent at the 7 p.m. schedule. So hopefully you've been enjoying that on YouTube Members Live. And if you haven't had an opportunity to check out what Untitled is, we just released a free episode both on MP3 for iTunes and right here on youtube.com/The Boxing Voice, where you should be subscribed and clicking that notification bell to be notified whenever we do go live and to help us reach the next goal of 130,000. Right now we are on 127,871, so we need about 29 more subscribers to get to 127,900, which would be an amazing goal to do today. You can help us get there today by telling a friend to tell a friend that we are live right now talking boxing, and you can help put this episode in the eyes of other boxing fans so that we get new, interesting callers and new takes on the sport. You know, once again, this morning we're talking Leonard Ellaby, Mayweather Promotions CEO, saying that Gervonta Tank Davis would knock Thurman the F out right now. Not now, but right now. So the question is, do you believe? What do you believe? Will this fight happen? Is this a big fight? Are you willing to pay for it? Is this all cap? Should Tank take it? Is this an opportunity to change his tax bracket? Put him in that welterweight division tax bracket, then come back down, you know? Or be selective. Be selective what welterweight you fight. Maybe Jamal James could be next now that you got the attention of the world by beating Thurman. Go for that interim or regular from James. I mean, there's so many things that you can do if you can actually be successful in this fight. And that is the beauty of his stardom. No one thinks about Teofimo beating Thurman. They don't even think about that. No one thinks about Devin beating Thurman. That's never been talked about. You know, those options don't come up for other fighters. Tank is special. He's showing that by the conversations that his name is consistently being put in, you know. But we're going to open up the phone lines. If you're interested in calling in, you know the number to do so is always going to be 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline, a.k.a. one-time line. You know what I'm saying? We made that fight. I mean, what up? What up?
Yo, everything is up, champ. Top of the morning to the TBV universe, man. This was big last night when this came through, man. And in the midst of all of whatever I got going on, I had to jump on because this was so exciting to me, man. So pardon the sheetrock and all that shit in the background, but this is what us passionate fans do, right?
Yes, sir.
Talking about this amazing. So now we're gonna ask superstar, because you have not just the drawing power that Thurman is bringing from the fight with Pacquiao, right? That transference of stardom. We was wondering, what about those in-house fights, man? The Rolly fight. Rolly seemed like him and Haney might link it up. This is the vision. This is how you build a star, man. And I'm just excited that when I had a lot of questions about what could be done, and I still wouldn't mind a Tank Rolly fight just for the way Rolly, you know, talk his shit. But this is a big fight. This makes him 4 divisions. This is against somebody that everybody knows, you know, regardless of what he's doing right now. At one time, pun intended, he was the man at 147. And people say, because what else are you going to say? Tank wasn't doing shit at 135. He didn't have nobody else to fight at 135. He was beating up glorified 126 pounders. There is no excuse if this fight gets made. Now, we could also see a residual trickle down and get the Mikey fight. But man, Keith Thurman and Tank, nobody can't talk shit on Tank Davis' name, man. I mean, whew, you hear me, right? I'm excited.
I hear you, but do you think Leonard is capping? Like, is he just selling this fighter? He got no intention. He ain't really talk, because he's saying that's an easy fight to make. I'm a phone call away. Easy phone call. Like, we'll take that right now. We'll do it in nanoseconds. He'll knock him the fuck out right now. So, like, is he just being a great promoter, or is he capping?
Worst case scenario for those that love, and I'm not even a fan of the word cap. That ain't my, either a nigga just be lying or he's saying what he's saying. So I'm not a fan of that. But what I will say is, even if he's marketing, what we talking about is Tank is still taking his shot. He's still shooting his shot at 147. I think that's what we all see, right? Because if it ain't Thurman, we heard Mikey, right? So I think we're all hearing that at 147, maybe if he's quote unquote capping for Thurman, well, who's gonna say I'll fight his little ass at 147? So either way, it's really not a bad approach to take from Tank's camp, from Ellerby's camp, because if Thurman does not accept the fight, so this is an open invitation, he's basically saying with that statement. If he don't accept the invitation, then who at 147 will step up and say, well, he's too small for me. Bring him up there and I'll put him in the front seat with him. I bet you I'll whoop his ass.
Yeah, man. I want to see it, man. I don't mind the fight. I think it is a big fight. But it's a dangerous fight.
Of course. But that's what we want. Ain't that what we want? Why not when we use this phrase daring for greatness and we throw it around so much, you know, at least within the industry and the sport, right? Like, this is daring for greatness against a dangerous opponent at 147. This is 4 divisions. This is not like, respectfully, you could be 4 divisions coming up from 118 and then 120. I respect that 4 division, but this is kind of 4 divisions spanning deep divisions. And the first thing people might say is, well, he's not delving that deep into each division. But I mean, I would disagree with that. I would say once you start talking about 140 and 147, there ain't too many ducks. Nobody's really picking, you know, ducks at 147 because you get exposed in them divisions. You don't last. Look at Elvis. You don't last if you a duck, right? Mm-hmm. Virgil may or may not get exposed, right? So, you know, him taking this fight, it's supposed to be dangerous. And if we didn't believe the danger in the Barrios fight against a 140-pounder, yo, man. Again, this is all in the context of, I believe Leonard is offering this fight. He has to be to put it out in the public, right?
Wow, so you believe it's real. Wow.
Why not?
No, I mean, because people think that there are kid gloves on Tank. You know, they're like, come on, they didn't give us Loma, they didn't give us Tevin, they didn't give us Devin, they didn't give us Tio, they didn't give us Rowley. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, now they're going to just give us Keith? But you see, I see Keith. I can see that happening, man. I can see that pattern of injury in Keith and a matchmaker and a promoter and a CEO and a broadcaster looking at it like, well, I mean, because what's the worst that can happen, right? You lose. Second best thing, you draw. Greatest thing to happen, you beat Keith. I don't really see those options being bad. You draw, it's a tight fight, or you draw, imagine a rematch. It's like, holy shit, this kid's really a welterweight, and they robbed him, or it was tight. He can do it again if he just did this, or he tweaked that, you know?
And look, I said it last night when you broke this on Untitled. I think, you know, for those that's thinking this is so crazy, Leonard and them is sitting back, and they're watching the way Pacquiao touched up Thurman. Right? And who said it? Doomy said they're watching the way Granados touched Thurman with hard shots.
Well, I don't know. Wait, Granados ain't fight Thurman. Josecito
Lopez. Pardon me. I'm thinking Conor Ben. Again, that's how deep 147 is, because it ain't a lot of ducks at 147. So anybody coming from 135 to 147 is coming for business. But to that point, if it's Josecito that's touching Thurman and he's not, they're looking and saying like, yo, one time ain't been one time in a long time. I'm famous for saying that. You know what I mean? So they see an accomplished veteran and a skilled fighter and a world-class fighter, but they see him on a decline. And you know, it's up to Keith Thurman to change their opinion as to whether or not he's on a decline. That's not for us, you know, to say that, you know, he's too shot. He's definitely not shot. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's only been in there with the best, and he beat most of them except for Pacquiao. Like, what are we talking about?
But that's how sad this sport is. I mean,
like, yo,
that's how sad it is. You lose to Manny Pacquiao, and
you're done, right?
And you're a bum. Secondly, yesterday, this is how sad this sport is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. I guess I'm just jealous that I don't have the influence of some other people, right? Because it's like, we talking about this fight, and it goes to a certain level, right? Ellerby comes and he talks about this fight, and it changes the entire perception of the fight, because yesterday we had close to 400 votes, and people said Thurman would beat Tank. Today we're at almost 200 votes, and people are saying that 45% now believe Tank can knock out Thurman, while only 55 believe that Thurman would win. So you tell me, it's like Ellerby says to the world, Tank can knock out Thurman, and all of a sudden it changes everything. All of a sudden, it's a competitive fight. Yesterday, our audience that I thought was intelligent is now flip-flopping today, and a little bit more of them believe in Tank now that Ellerbe co-signed?
I don't know, man. I think they should have been paying attention the whole while. Like I said, when this fight was talked about, first thing came to my mind was Pacquiao did the Thurman. You know what I'm saying? And thinking that a quick, strong guy can give this version of Keith Thurman some problems. Like, Keith hasn't been that Keith in a long time. But he's still one of the great ones. So I'm just trying to figure out how, like, again, just because Ellerbe says it shouldn't give Tank more of a probability, but you should be able to see the possibility, But that's what we do in boxing, man. And I guess until it, from the mouths of babes, right? We first say it, speak it into existence, and then all of a sudden, when those with the power to make it happen, when their, opinion to it, it travels faster, and certainly it gets a little bit more strength, man. So I think people just have to accept that if this fight happens, the odds are going to be crazy. I think the odds are going to be crazy.
To my haters, right? To my haters out there that want to say, yo, y'all talking about a fight that ain't going to happen, right? How do you know is my question. How do you know? And number two, my question is, hey, Lady Shan, my question is number two. How many shows or headlines or articles or podcasts, interviews, etc. were done? How many times did Eddie Hearn himself, the greatest promoter that boxing's ever seen, himself talk about Amir Khan versus Kell Brook? How many times can you guys give me a guess? Is it been so many that you can't even put a number on it?
An infinite number.
All right, then. So then why are people telling us not to talk about a fight that won't happen? I mean, we talked about Khan for 12 years versus Brook, and it never happened. The jealousy of the UK that they don't have a polarizing star like Gervonta Tank Davis is, I can feel it, in my chat. And it's very sad. It's like, let that man be great. Why? No one is telling Lee Selby he can't move up the welterweight. Let him do it. You understand? Let him do it. But Lady Shan, buenos dias.
Buenos dias, mi
Top
hermano.
of the morning, Lady Shan.
How are you?
Buenos dias. Hello, sir. Salute.
This is Amin, King Amin of Essex, but not Essex, London.
Yeah, Essex County, Essex in New Jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I also
Yo, my Lady Shan
with Essex though.
Yo, Lady Shan, you really got a double citizenship. I'm smelling that. Every time you talk, you show me more and more you've been in the US a lot. That's official.
Yeah.
So, best of both worlds. But let me jump right into it. What do you think? I mean, I don't know if you've been following the news, but
yeah,
Tank and Thurman has been a thing. But yesterday, Leonard Ellerbe came out, took to his social media, and really, turned the world on fire because he made this fight more realistic by saying that, Tank isn't a 147-pounder and Keith can fight his ass off, and he's a guy that I respect a lot. But that fight I'd make in 2 seconds, and Tank would knock him the fuck out right now. Trust me, if he's serious, which I highly doubt, that's an easy phone call. Hands up emoji, like, psst, all day.
I don't want it to happen.
What?
I don't. No, like, if it happens, like, I'm not going to be outside having picket signs up. But what I'm saying is, like, why are we doing this to Thurman? Like, why are we doing this? Keith Thurman is a young guy. His body may be breaking down a little bit, but I don't want to see him embarrassed. Like,
wait a minute. What do you mean embarrassed, Lady Shan? What do you mean?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
I know, but I think Tank will. They've seen a chink in the armor. They've seen some kind of chink in his armor.
But so did Mikey, Lady Shan. Mikey thought he seen something in Earl, and that didn't look what happened there. Like, just because you see something don't mean nothing. It's what you do in that ring when you against me, when you across from me, not when you outside in front row.
Yeah, they're not going to make this fight happen unless they know for a fact. Just like they did with Barrios, they knew that Tank was going to beat him. So they're doing it with Thurman. They know that Tank's going to beat him. I can't see it. because in my opinion, Thurman beats Tank.
All right, then. So there you go.
Yeah, but they're strategic. They're doing the money made.
So you tell me. Wait a minute. So are you telling me you don't even believe your own eyes? You're saying you would pick Thurman, but you're saying in the same sentence, you're saying, well, they're strategic. They must know something I don't know. What are you talking? No, Shan. No.
I pick Thurman. My heart picks Thurman, but my mind has to be. I'm analytical. My mind, they're seeing something that I may not see. Just because I don't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So they've seen something that I haven't seen, but my heart is picking Thurman. But they're moving strategic. It's chess for them. This is going to result in Tank knocking out Thurman.
But what do you say?
Let me just answer George Foster, who's supposed to be one of our biggest supporters, and instead saying that I made this rumor up out of nowhere, which is false. I actually screen shared Leonard Ellaby's verified Twitter the first time he ever said, and I quote, "Big pay-per-view fight at 147 for Tank is possible in October." So all you gotta do is go to the first episode. We talked about Tank fighting at 147, so you can see the screen share, which has his verified Twitter, or, go deep into his Twitter and find that day on his actual Twitter. However makes you more comfortable. But that being said, just appreciate that the rumor, right, wasn't a rumor. It was factual from Leonard, and I screen shared it with you where you didn't have to go find it, and it's created this wonderful, wonderful pay-per-view attraction. I think this is at least a 500-plus pay-per-view buy event.
But Shan, I'm guessing you don't see this as a big attraction for. Well, I guess it does nothing for Thurman. You don't think it does nothing for him if he beats Tank? It doesn't add anything to him. It's high risk,
blasphemy.
Low reward.
That's blasphemy.
I'm asking.
He hasn't said it yet. It's high risk. It's high risk, low reward. You guys are taking it the wrong way. I'm putting Thurman on too much of. I put him on a high regard. Like, I know it sounds like contradiction. Like, I put him on a high regard, but I don't think he'll win. So. Like, I respect the dude. Like, I just don't. I'm trying to figure out what do they see where they're going to exploit to get a win. Because I know they would only go up to 147. They're not doing this to lose. They're not making these moves to lose. This is a fact. Whether I know what the move is and why they're making that move, I know for this much, they ain't going to go and test Keith Thurman if they don't think that like 9 times out of 10 they're going to beat him.
But what if, too, they're also waiting for somebody else to say, what if Thurman says, man, right? You know how that happens, like, back in, and then somebody else say, well, shit, I got him because I know he's too small for me. I don't want to hear nothing. But there's no way 135 pounders coming up to 47. That's disrespect. What if it's kind of, a bit of subterfuge? Like they're putting it out there. Thurman doesn't bite and someone else does. Could that be?
Could that be? That could be. What if he goes with a Boots Ennis?
Who goes with Boots? Who goes with Boots? Yo, I'm starting to hate on the hardcores. Y'all gonna turn fans off of Boots. You can't force a fighter down our throat. Like, everybody want to force Boots into position. He got to get in a position. Wasn't nobody giving Mayweather nothing. Mayweather had to take 30% to fight Oscar. Everybody trying to thrust Boots onto somebody. That ain't how shit works.
Everyone trying to thrust Tank on somebody.
Earl had to fucking go the mandatory route and wait his turn at Brook. So I don't get it.
What's Tank have to do? He's been thrusted on us as well. The same. He's been thrusted on us. He ain't did the same route as Mayweather. So I don't know why people keep putting him in the same conversation.
That's
because he's in the Money May camp. But it's two different lanes, my G. Money May was epic. He took tough fights.
So you saying the Pedraza fight wasn't tough? You saying the Pedraza fight wasn't tough for like a 14, 15-0 kid? What? Squint your face. What?
Okay. That was a tough fight. Leo Santa Cruz was that tough. Like with Tank, my problem with Tank is that he's a puncher. He's not a boxer. Like I saw Leo Santa Cruz outbox him until he landed a knockout. That's what I see what Tank does. I saw Mario Barrios outbox him until he landed the knockout. That's what he does.
But that's your Shan.
Doesn't he get the opportunity to show us? Because I said that too. Here's the thing. I said that too. I love Tank. I love that when you from the mud, but I had a lot of questions. Everybody telling me Calvin Ford, Tank can box. Y'all ain't see. He still got this. I doubt it to the degree I haven't seen. Doesn't this Thurman fight give him that opportunity to show us these
Shan's
beautiful
Mike
boxing
strikes
skills?
again. Shan Mike strikes again. Look, her
No, that's just my. You bring me on here for my opinion, right?
No, I said your mic. But Keith Thurman said
it's checking. Look, you can hear it.
Keith Thurman said.
It's fine.
Keith Thurman said, "I never heard a Tank moving up. I don't think it's a real fight." I said, "Come on, champ. You don't believe Ellaby?" I said, "Jump on, man. Let's call his bluff. We got him, champ. We got him, champ." He said, "Nah, man. I just rolled out of bed. Maybe later." I said, "All right, man. But we got him, champ. We almost did. We at the finish line, Ellaby. Get them turns. The terms is Ness need to be in the background. I get all access. I should be the fucking announcer for the press conference, man. No disrespect to Ray Flores. I made this fight. This mine's. All mine's."
Hey Ness. I think when Thurman, that expression, not only did he roll out of bed, he had on silk pajamas, you dig? And if they send him the right offer, he's gonna get up for this fight. If they give him anywhere near, and I don't know if this is too high for this fight. I don't know if they could give him this amount.
What amount? What you talking about?
8.5.
Whoa, that's too much guarantee. Nah.
Too much?
Absolutely.
Because
we got to give you that on the back. We're going to give y'all both $2 million and let y'all get everything else off the bat. You got to show your worth, man.
Yeah.
We're giving you $2 million guarantee. You know, we'll give you $2 million guarantee. Maybe we'll give Tank $3 million, or 2.5, 2.2, 2.3, something like that. Maybe 1.8 Tank, 1.5 Thurman, you know, coming off a loss, no belt, 2 years inactivity. Everything on the back end. Everything. I mean, based off other paper contracts, not based off back end money. I don't know about on paper, like based off him fighting Keith and Danny on paper for $2 million and 1.5 and all that. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Put everything on the back. Even
how much?
Go ahead.
How much did Thurman get for Pacquiao? Just a question. How much?
Big number. They say it was like 8. I think 8.
Okay, so even then, so let me come down from it, because in my mind, I thought he got a 10, right? So
I think it was like 4, maybe 4 guaranteed, and then like 8 total or something crazy like that. I know the number's crazy. If somebody knows the number, throw it in the chat.
Yeah, I don't want to misspeak, but I guess making it worth Keith's while. He just got out of bed, like he not.
Yeah, but you got 8 as an undefeated champ. You know, or you got 4 or whatever that Pacquiao number, you got that as an undefeated champ with Pac, just like Keller about to get 10 with Canelo. Like we get you for that fight. You was worth that, and I ain't no. And look, I sent them the link. I ain't, it's like I told you. Look, anything I say is to get you this fight, but it's also how you gotta sell it. Like it's the truth. Like you ain't the Thurman from Pacquiao fight no more. We want that Thurman and look T-Rex. I want that Thurman back for this one. Like yo. The last dude had T-Rex arms and he shocked me. I won't let another little dude shock me. You know, like rip him apart at the weigh-in. Like, come on, man. You can't even talk. Let me take over. Take over from the podium, everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. Be the bad guy. Don't be the nice guy in this one. Tank already the nice guy because Tank don't talk. Tank don't talk. He already the nice guy. He just smile, say,
yeah.
What's Mexican style? Ha ha ha. Everybody laughs and shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you got to be the bad guy. You got to be one time. You got to remind everybody.
Really then? Is this fight is it just posed?
I mean, listen, you said it, and now Keith texts me. He don't believe it till he gets something more than Twitter. He said, Twitter's not matchmaker. But I'm like, yo, you don't believe Ellaby. It ain't Twitter. It's Leonard Ellerby on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? When Eddie Hearn says, oh, we sent out an offer to Charlo on Twitter, we believe him. Everybody writes articles. Everybody makes videos. It's Leonard Ellerby saying, I will make that fight in a nanosecond. So I don't know why Keith doesn't believe it. But look, it's early. When you former unified champion of the world, you ain't got to get up early.
Winning that fight? Who you got winning that fight?
I don't pick fights no more. I don't pick fights no more. I'm trying to grow in the business, and I think that telling your truth gets you in trouble. I've learned that over my years of the sport.
I know, that's a shame. That's bullshit.
Every now and then, I let every now and then I let a pick slip, and you know it is what it is. Nothing you can do. But you know I try not to anymore. Shit is whack. Dudes get so mad. It's ridiculous.
I know.
Hey Shan,
Yeah.
I got Tank in that fight though, because I've been saying it for a couple, moments now, as long as it's been discussed. But yeah, because I saw what. No, I love
Keith, you listening, Keith?
Thurman.
You listening,
Yes,
Keith?
listen. If you're gonna listen to anybody, listen to me. I love you,
He
man.
better go on his run with this.
To anybody. First of all,
Man.
Keith, I was there that night, Danny Garcia. I was in Barclays and I was there for Porter. When I watched those fights, I saw you withstand the pressure. Keith jumped in the fire twice, and he did what nobody else at welterweight was doing.
Nobody.
That's why at that time he was the man. And then he went in there against Pacquiao. Like, Keith did what everybody else at welterweight, well, we were waiting for Earl to do. So this is no disrespect to Keith. But when I saw what Pacquiao did, the smaller guy, the quicker guy, seemed to throw his punches with a little bit more accurate, a little bit more I'm thinking to myself, a younger version of that type of fighter with his gazelle punch. I'm riding off the fucking gazelle punch. It's going to be dangerous for the same Keith that did Murderer's Row. He did Murderer's Row. I don't expect him to be. So, again, Jordan, when he couldn't jump no more, he came back with the fadeaway. Keith has not been stopping people in a long time, and he has to evolve. And if he hasn't, then I expect Tank to best him in that fight.
And it's
another
southpaw as well.
Yeah.
So Manny was a southpaw. That was difficult for Thurman. And now you got the younger, fresher southpaw, explosive power. Yeah. We'll see if it happens. That means he'd be going up to 147. 147 is the ultimate limit for Tank, because he walks around at probably about 165 anyway.
Shan, did you see his Twitter where he said, "I see they think I'm Superman," and I'm talking about Gervonta Tank Davis.
I didn't see it. So he's trying to say like 147 is a stretch. I can't do everything.
I mean, he is. I can interpret it that way, because it definitely insinuates that, but it doesn't say that he's not Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you know what though? I think we got to take one nugget, and then I'm gonna jet out. But one nugget from what we've seen with Tank, the people around him, that's why they call them handlers. And sometimes that term is disrespectful, but in this case, it's good. They know that guy. Floyd know he got to get about them seats and say, "Hey, man, they said you losing, man." They know they have to apply a certain amount of urgency to him in order to get the best out of him. They want this diamond to shine, and they are constantly putting him under a type of pressure. They've been doing it since Pedraza.
Touch your mic, Shan. Touch your mic. You're giving us that interference again.
That might be me.
No, it's hers, man. I know it by heart already. This Shan, just touch it. Every now and then it goes into. Okay.
Yeah, so they know. You know what I'm saying? They know how to treat him. They know how to handle him. So he might get too comfortable. He might have idle hands. They don't want him in no trouble. So they say, "Yo, we keeping you busy. We're gonna have you thinking of what your next fight is, even if we don't have it. Yo, stay ready so you don't gotta get ready." So again, if it isn't for Thurman, it's for somebody else, man. But I gotta get up out of here, man. King Amin of Essex 1 on Instagram, King Amin of Essex 1 on this thing right here, the Boxing Voice. Also on YouTube, the championship rounds. Shout out to Lady Shan, international boxing enthusiast. Shout out to the skipper Nestor Gibbs. Shout out to the TBV universe. I'm out.
Let's go.
Salute, King.
Shan, man. So how are you, man? How are you?
What's up, Hollywood? Did you miss me?
Of course. Yo.
Huh?
But why you acting like this news ain't reached you? Is this the first time you're hearing of this?
What's the news reached me? I didn't act like the news didn't reach me. The news reached me. I've said my opinion. What do you want me to do? Draw blood?
I just don't feel like you excited about it.
No, don't get it twisted. If the fight happens, everybody is misinterpreting me. I'm holding Thurman dear. I have a lot of respect for the dude. I don't want to see anything happen to him untowards. I don't want to see him laughed at. I don't want to see him mocked. I don't want to see him embarrassed. That's where I'm coming. I'm coming from a place of love. That's where I'm coming from.
Yo, the fact that you thinking he could get embarrassed, that's why he got to take this fight, man, for real.
There's a possibility he could, though.
What?
There's a possibility.
Bruh.
It's not impossible. What? It's impossible that Tank could embarrass Keith Thurman. It's impossible. You're telling me in stats, it's impossible that he could be embarrassed? It's not impossible. Anyone can be embarrassed. It's a 50-50 thing.
You better not duck me, son. You better not duck me, son.
Tell him jump in the ring then, man. Let's get in the ring and swing, man. I want to see him get in the ring and swing. I don't mind if they're going to go up to 147. It's like how many weight cuts? Like, you'd be saying that you're Superman. You go up to 147, you might find your kryptonite, my G. So careful where you be stepping. I mean, this the thing, though. When Brook moved up 2 divisions, you know, he failed, but no one wrote him off. Like, if Tank can't get past the Keith one-time Thurman test, is no disrespect. I think it doesn't make him any less of a fighter.
No, it doesn't. And I wouldn't say if he loses to one of an elite ex-champ that he's to feel embarrassed about that. I just feel that I don't feel that they're going to make that move unless they know they can win. That's the only difference that I feel. They're confident. They was confident, confident Shan, every move they've made.
Shan, AJ thought he was going to win. Mike Coffey thought he was going to win Saturday. Like, you go into a fight thinking you're going to win, but that is the other man's job to change that whole shit around. You heard Mike. Everybody got a plan. Your plan is to win. You think you're going to win, and then I punched you in the face. Yeah. Shit changes. Let me get to some of these super chatties. Shout out to everybody showing a little bit of love. We appreciate it. Shout out to Lady Shan joining us, right? Lady Shan, where can they find you and when do you go live?
You can find me on Lady Shan Boxing, Come Box with Shan on YouTube. Lady Shan done them season. Just type in Lady Shan and boxing, you'll find me. I usually go live Mondays, and sometimes I do Sundays. It just depends. If you keep the bell icon on, you know, I drop interviews, I drop news reports, my opinion, I get guests on, I do guest panels. So Ness, we're still waiting for you.
Yeah, I mean, you ain't give me no date. You ain't give me no sketch.
You Hollywood out here. You move in Hollywood.
I mean, I'm just trying.
Are you Hollywood, Ness?
I'm just trying to grow. And if I grow, you grow. You never know. One day I'm gonna be commentating with you. I'm gonna bring you to the desk. Instead of just being a guest on the panel, we're gonna get you a guest at the desk. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna Lady Shan from the UK. Yeah, I'm be kicking you under the table. Hell yeah, because your mic ain't right. Let me get to some super chats. I got Show Kid 2005. He says, is this the same Thurman that beat Porter and Danny? Pac went 12 with Thurman 2 years ago. Why he ain't considered washed up? Keith by KO early. So you think he gonna KO Tank, but let me tell you right now, on my poll, can Tank KO Thurman like his CEO promoter said, Leonard Ellerby? 38% believe yes. 62 believe no. All right, so we'll go to the next super chat, who is R. Jonesy, which I believe is guy though for sure, right, Jonesy? I think Jonesy. And his first one says, tell Leonard to give us the fights we actually been asking for, like Haney, Gary, Loma, etc. The idea of this fight is kind of silly to me. All right, so Haney, that's a doable fight now that Haney's a free agent, you know, but you were asking for it when he wasn't a free agent. You know, Loma obviously doesn't want Haney. He's choosing to fight the lower ranked, what's his name? Richard Comey? My bad.
Comey.
You know what I'm saying? Loma's number one for Haney's belt. Why he ain't calling the WBC, who he's got favor with, right? Didn't he ask the WBC to make him franchise champ in the past? So he got favor with him. He could call Mauricio and say, yo, make me the mandatory. This kid never fought a mandatory. That's not a lie. That's fact. He never fought a mandatory because mandatories are afraid to fight him. So, you know, the sheer...
I don't understand what's happening in that 135 world. It's a mess.
Frady cats.
It's a mess. But who's the boogeyman? What are they saying? Dev's the boogeyman then?
I mean, the only man that never fight him. I've been watching boxing for a long time. I've never seen a man not have a mandatory. You know, I've seen dudes, you know, be champ and then like a mandatory never get called, but I've never seen mandatories get called and dudes who are up in line for the title be like, you know what? Nah, I don't want that fight. I'd rather get this fight. I don't want. Always got an excuse why that fight ain't good enough. But
whose fault is it with Dev then? Is it what? Who do you think's fault is it?
It's his skill. His skills are at fault. His skills are at fault. They can't say nothing because, you know, in any other circumstance, they would say he didn't bring any money, but he brings the zone. He brings money, you know. In any other circumstance, they say he's not popular, but that's a lie. He's got over 1 million followers. You know, he dates celebrity girlfriends in America. Like, I don't get it. There is a bunch of hate. Tap your mic again. You back in the Star Wars world. Ah! Damn.
Check.
Bad.
I don't understand. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
You're good. Charles Tiller says, does Ugas have a fight? Because that's who I thought of Leonard made his first comment about 147. I know you thought that, but they gave Ugas Fabian Maidana. I know you thought that. And I thought it was Berto. But we switched that to Keith. It's going to be Keith, one-time Thurman. He's going to get the big fight.
I think I've done my mic better now. I went into the settings. It shouldn't give you any problems now. No hay problema aquí.
So you say. R. Jonesy back with another one says, Keith gets no credit for beating Tank. Be for real. He might not get any credit from you, but let me tell you what it does. And this is what I'm saying. Again, you guys, you don't understand the business. You just understand, oh, that's a good fight, that's a bad fight. So, Lady Shan, what it does is, it shows what Keith Thurman has done in his second pay-per-view. Remember, he's the only fighter of this generation to do 600,000 pay-per-views. Not Earl, not Mikey, not Crawford, none of them, you know? So him and Tank did 200, then he did 215,000. So, you know, him and Tank, the combination of that can possibly take them to another stratosphere. So for Tank, the risk is worth the reward because now you enter that welterweight division where the real money's at and you get a chance to increase your pay-per-view buys. You can always come back down, but now you got the fans. Now you're already making that certain amount of money if you win. And for Keith, you get to do a big pay-per-view with a very popular kid. Like if Gervonta fought Thurman, the world is going to be at attention. The same way that you think he would lose, that message is going to be spread throughout the world. I mean, what would Stephen A. Smith say on First Take if this fight is real? And it's Mayweather protege. Everybody's going to pick it up because it's like, oh my God, Mayweather's protege. We thought they were protecting him and now they're throwing him to the wolves. That's how it will be sold. That's how it's going to be sold. It's going to be, oh, look at David going against Goliath. You understand? That's how it's going to be sold.
He'd be little David, wouldn't he?
Of course.
It'd be a good story in the media. I get it. I'm not super against it. Whatever, man. Like, if Keith wants to take the fight, and let's just see it happen.
So again, you know, for boxing fans, we might not give Keith credit. I would. You know what I'm saying? Because I know it's going to be the fight. Imagine they do over 500,000 pay-per-view buys. For Keith, for Keith, that means I get the Earl fight now. I get the Earl fight that I want. Now I'm doing numbers. Now I'm on pay-per-view again. You still don't want to fight me? Because he won his fight with Earl. He said, I just interviewed him again, and what'd he say? Why is Earl so mad? That's what he said. Why are you so mad? And if you mad, fight me. Simple.
But is there a reason for Earl to fight? He don't got no belt.
Exactly, Lady Shan. That's exactly why you win the Tank fight and become a bigger pay-per-view attraction so that there is a money fight for Earl to look at. Now it's like, you sure you don't want to fight Thurman, who just did X amount of pay-per-views with Tank? Oh, shit. Yeah, I'll take that easy money.
As opposed to who? What? Fight Thurman instead of who?
Instead of no one. It's just another option. Just another option. What you mean? Why? Because this is
It's
prize
unnecessary.
fighting.
He doesn't need to fight Thurman. He don't got no belt.
Listen,
I
if
know
you
what you're
don't, let me
saying,
ask you a
but
question.
money-wise,
Let me ask you a question.
It'd be a money fight.
Okay, but if you don't fight Crawford next, where's Errol Spence next pay-per-view?
Okay, then this is why I asked you in who is it swapping out. If he doesn't fight Bud, then you may as well fight Thurman. But if you fight Bud, you don't then need to fight Thurman afterwards.
Okay.
There's no reason.
Okay, so here's another scenario then. In Lady Shan's world, she wants Earl to fight Bud next. So now he got 3 belts. Ugas is out there. Thurman just beat Gervonta Davis on pay-per-view. Guess who gets the Ugas fight? I said Thurman just beat Gervonta Davis on pay-per-view. Who gets the Ugas fight? Thurman does. Or vice versa. Vice versa. If Gervonta beats Thurman, then shit.
So why can't Spence just go fight? Why can't Spence fight Bud, get the belt from Bud, and then why can't he fight Ugas?
I mean, he could, but so you just want all these other welterweights to just wait idle for Earl to go collect everybody's belt? Like we gotta match the rest of the division. We can't have Ugas just sitting around fighting the Fabian Maidanas of the world till it's his turn to lose to Earl. No, make your own lane, like Keith is right now. Nobody ever expected a fight with Tank. He made his own lane.
Yeah, could do, but I just guess that Errol just knows where he wants to go, and he wants to collect these Infinity Stones en route. Like, I don't care about what you guys want to do.
Well, come get this green stone. Come get this green stone, Lady Shan. It's called green for money. Okay? Because last I checked, Thurman did the most pay-per-views. So Thurman is the draw. You know what I'm saying? Numbers don't lie. So
I'm just saying, we got to be strategic here. Not all the time just it's money. Like, if you're here for legacy, you will do your legacy, and money comes along with the legacy. You've got to be strategic. Everybody else do your thing. I just know where I'm going. When you're playing chess, your motive is to checkmate the queen. That is your motive. It's not to float around on the chessboard and let everybody do what they want to do around you. You know where you're going.
I mean, if you play chess, you know that you've had people in a certain position where you could keep making moves to checkmate them, or you could just keep pushing that pawn and make them sweat, because that pawn's getting past the Mason-Dixon line, and they know with every step that pawn could be a queen, it could be a rook, it could be a bishop. So they get more and more nervous as that pawn pushes down. And that's what's happening right now. Like, we got Earl. We know where he is. But if we put Gervonta Davis and Keith into a fight, out of there comes out a queen, a strong piece on the board. That's all I'm saying. The combination of 215,000 bars and 600,000 bars, the combination of Keith being a great talker and Tank being a great puncher, that combination sells itself, you know?
No, I don't doubt that. I would buy it. What I'm saying, I'd 100% buy it. I'm just trying to think what's behind it. I mean, that's just how my mind works. But I get what you're saying. It's a big fight. It's a big money fight. Would I not buy it? Of course I would buy it. Loads of people will buy it. It makes sense. It makes money. I'm just saying, I just want to see the logics behind it. Is there anything behind it? You need to ask your friends what's behind it. Why don't you ask?
Punch your mic right now. Punch your mic right now. What's up with you? Yo. Oh my God. Do you ever play it back? Do you ever play it back to hear it? Cause then if you play it back, you'll hear it right now at the 58-second mark. So you got to go back about 10.
Okay, so in the settings it says default. We don't want default device. No. Okay, maybe this is where it's wrong. I got to put my check 1 2. Does that sound better?
It's not. I don't think it's the settings. I think it's the mic is picking up some sort of frequency, because you'll be talking and then it'll just get very robotic. But
I heard it do that. It's got Omni setting where it can
right now you're good. Right now you're good, but it just comes and goes every now and then. But you got a super chat here. Javi Santana says, "Saludo, cheers, lady."
Saludos, Javi. I always speak to him online. You're right, mate. ¿Cómo va tu día? ¿Todo bien ahí?
Let me get to Brandon in Cincinnati. Actually, Coach Myers, Boomerang, what up, though? Connecticut.
What up, Joe? Where's all the rap songs?
Oh yeah, I mean every is whoever has an intro gets their song played.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Coach, what up?
Yo, what's good? What's good?
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't think the fight's gonna happen. I mean, if it happens, I'll watch it. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Ellaby just being an excellent promoter, keeping his fighter's name out there. I feel like if that fight does happen, now is not the time. I feel like it'll be like the Adrian Broner moving up, fighting Maidana a little bit too soon. But if it happens, like I said, I'll watch it. But that's my call.
So I made a poll on my community page 2 hours ago and asked the same question, and 28% believe Tank can knock out Thurman. 72% believe he cannot.
72% believe that he can't win.
That he cannot knock him out. They didn't say win.
I voted on that. Yeah, I saw that it was higher that Tank couldn't knock Thurman out. Yeah. What do you? Well, I'm not. I was just about to say, what do you think? But you're not going to answer.
I think that there's a possibility that they can knock each other out. You know, that's not making a pick. I think I can see Tank getting a knockout because he's more of a finisher than than Josecito Lopez and Luis Collazo, who both hurt Thurman. He's more of a finisher. And even Pacquiao isn't a finisher, right? Pacquiao, he's the one that says, you know, people question his killer instinct. Remember, that was a whole thing with Freddie Roach. Oh, his killer instinct's gone.
Yeah.
He don't got a killer instinct. So if you don't got a killer instinct, you ain't a killer. Tank's a killer.
Tank's a killer. Yeah.
Tank trying to go for the kill. So when he hurt Thurman, Thurman ain't going to be able to take his mouthpiece out like he did in the Pacquiao fight and run around the ring. Tank going to come kill. But Thurman is also a natural welterweight who started at 152. He lost to Demetrius Andre twice in the amateur. So Thurman's a real grown-up man that, you know, no matter how old or out of the ring or the timing, at the end of the day, he's still a puncher. The last thing to go on punches is power. And Thurman got power. He got power, you know.
Yeah, he's got pop. And this was what I was worried about if Tank, when he went from, you know, going for the Barrios fight at 140, would he still have the pop? Because a lot of, you know, fighters go up and it doesn't mean that their power goes up with them. But I was happy to see that it did. So at 147 with a bit more weight behind him, he got to be careful. That's all I'm saying. He just, because, yeah.
But that's why this one is going to do 1 million pay-per-view buys, because people think he will lose. That's what the world wants. They want to see you lose. That's why Mayweather was successful. They love to see you lose. You don't hear how people call in here? They'll pick Callum Smith over Canelo. They want to see you lose.
Yeah. I don't want to see him lose. I don't want to see Tank lose. But
not you, honey, but a lot of people, they are closet haters. They rather see the dude lose. I mean, you got to listen to it. On Thursdays, people call in and make their picks. And then when it comes down to it, they'll go against their brain and pick with their heart. Oh, no, I'm picking Callum Smith. I don't like Canelo. And it's like, what the hell? You know what
wow.
Yes.
That's wow.
Yes.
I never picked Callum. I'm from the UK. I never picked any of those two fighters to beat Canelo.
Yo, I had a dude from Seattle call in talking about Billy Joe was going to beat Canelo. And it's like, bruh, you out here tripping. You know what I'm saying? You American. You hating on Canelo, who is basically putting on for America. You know, people love to pin him to Mexico, but someone tell me the last time he fought in Mexico. You know, someone tell me that. Someone tell me the last time he had an all Mexican broadcast team. Like, someone tell me that. He's catering to the Americans and
audience.
And instead of us, you know, adapting them, we're trying to shove them away and say that an Englishman.
I don't know how people saw that, Billy. Do you know how much stick that I got for saying that Billy Joe Saunders was would lose to Canelo? I gave him like a 20% chance of winning, and that was just being nice. Everyone from the UK was like, "Oh, how could you be like that? You're from the UK." I don't care. I'm going with logic.
And that's the issue. That's the issue. The UK normally wants you to pick with with your with your country. Like, oh no, he's a countryman. You gotta go for him. And it's like, bro, why can't we just like pick who we want? You know what I mean?
Yeah. How about that? Yeah.
But let me get to Brandon in Cincinnati. How are you? Are you available? Where
you at, Brandon?
Hey, whole nother time zone. Jumped up for back with our mind on. Can't play when you here, get your life stole. If you bring it here, then the price grow. Folks jabbing and punching the line long. I drop a pigeon, let 9 go. We slap with the fake glass and white go. This only happens in Ohio.
You. We do not hear you.
Come back to me, Ness.
All right. But, going back to this topic, it just has a lot of traction. On my Instagram, we posted the clip of Keith talking about, the Tank fight, the interview that I done with him. And let me just screen share this.
I need to check it out.
And it's got a lot of views on Instagram, a lot of views on Fight Hype, because they also published the interview.
That's right there, man. He needs you. I mean, he's chinny as hell. He got hurt.
Wrong video. This
little guy with a big pop,
You got Rolly on there.
About Pacquiao. Maybe the little package is a problem. Maybe it's not fun being in with these little packages. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day,
you see, that's what I like, man. That he didn't turn this fight away. He sold it. Like, oh, maybe I'm just not good enough for the little man. Look at what Pacquiao did to me. He's so intelligent, man. And that's why I want him to get this fight, because he knows how to sell a fight.
A fight.
He knows how to sell a fight.
Who am I to wrap him in cotton wool if he really wants to smoke? Go ahead, Keith. Go ahead one time. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. He sees the trajectory. I mean, come on. You got all sorts of celebrities talking about Tank when he fights, showing up to his fights when he fights. Like, who doesn't want that? Who's seen Atlanta and doesn't want to be a part of what Tank is doing in Atlanta? Come on, man. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But
let me get out there.
Movie, absolutely. You need to come out for the next one. You gotta be there. Like, you gotta see how that is. It's crazy. Let me see what R. Jonesy back with another one. He says, not Haney versus Loma, Tank versus Loma. Yeah, again,
all of those types of fights would be sick.
Yeah, but those are also like, Loma is fighting Comey because Comey is in a co-promotion with Top Rank. Just like Floyd said, we're going to do in-house. Bob just doesn't say it. He just does it in your face. Like, for you to think, again, Loma's number one. He could be fighting Haney, but he don't want to. But
what did I tell you about Porter? What did I tell you about Porter and Bud? I don't care what Bob said. Do you remember when I came on your show last week?
Yeah,
Monday,
you said it won't happen. You said it won't happen.
I don't think it. I still don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think it's out yet, but I'll tell you this, Thurman don't think it'll happen neither. But let me ring the alarm for all Jonesy. That's about his third or fourth super chatty of the day. We always appreciate the engagement. We got Ken Stone that says, Keyshawn Davis about to be the new 135-pound boogeyman. Yo, let me just teach you something. Just because you win a gold medal don't mean that you good. Just know that you good at the Olympics. You did it for your country. Amen. Salute. But like, look at Robeisy Ramirez. He beat Shakur in the Olympics. Some people thought it was a robbery. He got gold. He came over his pro debut, slept him. You know what I'm saying? We got to let dudes pan out, man. You know, what you did in the amateurs is all great, and you're going to get rewarded for that. He will be
Look
paid.
at Luke Campbell.
He's an
Olympian.
Look at Luke Campbell. Perfect example. You know what I'm saying? He just retired and shit. Never became a world champion. So we just got to let people pan out, man. You know, all credit to Keyshawn Davis. Bring that gold back for America and use that to get an enormous check from these promoters. And we're going to follow your career and hope that you do become a world champion. But it's not an easy task, man. That's why I've changed my tune. Like, a guy like Pedraza is a two-time champion. So when people say Tank ain't fought nobody, it's like, holy shit, how many two-time champions out here? So AJ gets celebrated for being two-time, but Pedraza's a nobody for being two-time. We got a super chat.
Don't be a hater, Ness, on my AJ. You know how I feel.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just using him as a part of the example to teach people. You can't hate on one person. If you screaming 2 times for AJ, we got to scream it.
Yeah, you got to be consistent.
We got to scream 2 times for Sean Porter because you was hating on Porter, but he a 2-time champ. We got to scream.
Who was hating on Porter? Me?
You said he won't take the Crawford fight. A 2-time champ. You said a 2-time.
Pick your words wisely, please.
That is.
I know. That doesn't make you hating.
Shan.
If I see a pile of shit on the floor,
delusional,
and it doesn't mean just because I don't like it that I hate the shit. It's just I just dislike it. There's not everything hating in 2021.
Okay. So does it make you delusional then? Because you're saying
it doesn't. It makes you delusional because you're making up shit, and it makes you.
Well, look. Sean Porter, without BoxRec, Sean Porter fought Kell Brook, Paulie Malignaggi, Devin Alexander, Keith one-time Thurman, Danny Garcia, and Earl Spence. So for you to say that he won't fight Bud is like, yo, you tripping, man. You taking shots at him. You taking shots at him.
No, it's not taking shots at him. You're being in your little old feelings over there, Hollywood. You need to stop.
How could you fight 6 elite fighters?
I like Porter.
How do you like him, but you're saying he's afraid of...
And the boogeyman is bad. And it doesn't matter if you fight from kingdom to thy kingdom come. When a boogeyman enters the division, that is why he's the boogeyman, because nobody wants to fight him. That is why you're saying Devin Haney is the boogeyman, because you're saying nobody wants to fight him.
But
Porter beat him.
Porter is the only one. Listen to me. Everybody knows for Porter's entire career, he's the only one that ain't afraid of no ghosts. He the only one. Cool. He the only one that fights everyone. That's why, like,
the fight's not happening. Like I said,
you crazy.
I called it. Thurman called it. There's no smoke without fire.
First of all, the 30 days ain't over. The 30 days ain't over. The fat lady ain't sung. She ain't singing. AB versus Keith is bigger fight at 147, but I see why Keith would welcome a tank fight. #easy. What happened to Keith being the next Floyd Mayweather? But that's how you get there. You beat the protege. That's how you get there. You got to see business. You beat the protege, man. It ain't over. One loss don't define you.
What happens if Keith loses to Tank? What happens?
I mean, rematch, hopefully. Hopefully it's an entertaining fight. It don't have to be negative if you lose. Hopefully it's an entertaining fight. Hopefully it's a fight that does well on pay-per-view and makes, a rematch sense. Or, now maybe they offer Keith even more money or decent money to fight that guy I keep talking about, Boots. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what happens when you lose. You become...
Okay, so he loses the rematch. Where does he go?
You keep fighting. I mean, look at Porter. He's lost and come back. You try to become a 2-time world champion or a 3-time world champion, whatever. Look at Kovalev. He lost 3 times at 175 and 3 times he became a world champion. Like, it ain't over till you're ready to retire. If you want me to say he's going to retire, we got to ask him that. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, because you're not a fighter. You ain't
fighting.
I'm
not a fighter.
You ain't fighting.
See where he would go. I'd like to see where he would go after those 2 losses.
Where's Gabe Rosado gone after 13 losses? What about Salido?
Yeah, I know. He's a G.
Exactly. So why can't Keith become a G after 6 or 7 losses? Why he can't become a G? Y'all tripping, man. Y'all hold too much respect on these losses, man. Losses ain't about shit. No,
I'm from the old school. Losses ain't shit. Muhammad Ali lost 5 times.
Mr. PBC, text me one more time. You're going to be the last person I go to. You ain't no ringer. You better become a ringer. You want to get cut the line. You better hit a cash app. You want to cut that line. Texting me. I'm about to block your ass. My man text me all the time. Texting me. You ain't never sent me a Christmas card. Not even a virtual one. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got... Super Mexi says, Ness love giving Keith credit for them numbers like he was the selling point in the Pacquiao fight. Laughing out loud, laughing out loud, laughing out loud emoji. Without Tank, Keith ain't going back on pay-per-view. And you may be right, but for you to say that he wasn't the selling point is an absolute lie. Even Pacquiao came out and said that Keith sold the fight. Pacquiao didn't talk. It was Keith saying everything, calling him T-Rex, making little clips, going viral. Man, get your ass out of here.
Yeah, because Keith Thurman has that weird personality. He's funny. Manny Pacquiao's quite boring.
Oh, yeah. I did my best, but my best wasn't good enough. Keith Thurman.
My shoulder is hurting me. My shoulder.
My shoulder. I need some water. For the shoulder. Get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm sorry. I had a shoulder pain with the Mayweather fight. Motherfucker, we bet our house on that fight. Not me. I'm on record picking Mayweather. It was little dummies picking fucking Pacquiao.
Who picked Pacquiao to beat
Oh my
May?
God, the whole country. Everybody wanted to see Mayweather lose. Everybody thought he was the guy. Oh, God's gonna humble him. He's too cocky. He's too arrogant. Shut your ass up. Give me that $100 money. I want it all. We got Chief Red. Let's see what he says. Oh no, Chief Red. Oh yeah, Chief Red. He says, Lady Shan, cool emoji. You gonna make me fly out. Oh, excuse me. You gonna make me fly you out. Side note, there is no sympathy in boxing. If Keith becomes a meme, so be it. Is you flying her out to Border Wars? We could use her. I imagine Lady Shan commentating Border Wars fight with me. Let me know. Cash App her or me, whatever, if you want to solidify.
Yeah, you fly me out. Why don't you fly me out then?
I mean, if he want to send that money, we'll fly you out. But I don't think you could get in here. I've been trying to get Mitty in here. You make it seem like you could get in the country. Are you already in America or something?
Imagine that. I'll be like, yeah, I'm in West Orange.
You know what I'm saying? Damn, you got them high taxes. West Orange is for the rich, let me tell you. Enrique in West Orange.
That's where my sister lives. That's where my sister lives. I grew up there as well. I went from Staten Island to West Orange. The last time I was there was 2016.
What's your sister do? She a lawyer?
No, her husband is her husband is a computer analyst.
Oh.
So
I'm telling you, West Orange ain't no joke.
She's got a business degree. So she pretty much kicks back now.
No, I mean, if you live in West Orange, you already kicking back. You can't. The taxes alone will break you. You know, I don't know about the entire city of West Orange if the taxes are all high, but obviously
they are.
Enrique lives in West Orange, and my aunt lives in West Orange. That shit is for the rich.
Yeah.
Anyway. Going back to R. Jonesy with another one. Talk about engagement or tight. Call you tight face. Is you just tight face right now? These are all jealous options, I think. Taylor, Prograis, Haney, Tio, Loma, over, Keith, please. Teller. Nobody knows Teller. Prograis, ain't he talking about Mikey? But he do be calling Tank out. I ain't gonna front. But again,
what do you mean nobody knows Taylor?
See, your mic. Unplug or plug in. Your mic is just crazy. Oh man.
We're back.
Now you are.
It must have some kind of gate on it. It's a brand new mic. Brand new.
Your subs need to get you. I told you get a wish list. You need to get a little bit of a better mic. A little bit of a better mic, just like on some I'm taking this serious shit.
I checked out the mics. Oh, whatever at this point. I don't use mics anywhere else except for on this show, so maybe that's why I'm just really new to this mic thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Just let me know when it needs to be tapped.
Call you tap that.
You can't tap that ass, but I can tap the mic. It's all right.
So you were saying, I don't know, you were saying something and then you went into Transformer mode.
Yeah, no, he was Transformer. No, he was saying Haney.
Yes.
Wasn't he?
He said Teller, Prograis, Tio, Loma over Keith, but none of those dudes are more popular than Keith. He just don't know about business, man.
Oh, that's what I said. What about you said nobody knows Josh Taylor. So you think a Tank and Josh Taylor fight wouldn't be big?
I mean, anybody with Tank is big. He makes it big. And then, Josh bring the belt, so it'll be significant as well. But that's what we're saying. Tank versus anybody can eclipse Taylor versus anybody, right? They won't fight on a day that Tank is fighting.
Well, we're not watching another Tank v Barrios fight again. I refuse.
I don't think that's true.
Pay my £13. I won't be.
I don't think that's true. Okay, I think that Tank is must-see television. I think that when the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, is telling you that he's the first person on the list that he watches, and he supplies the puncher of the sport with the gloves that happen to be Canelo brand gloves. No, I think that you're just, you're gonna be slow to the party. You're gonna be, and I was slow. Listen, Lady Shan, I was slow to the party. I remember a year ago, Leonard Ellerby said Tank is the biggest fight for anyone. He said Tank is the biggest fight for anyone at 130 to 140. And I said, man, this dude is delusional. And now I see Tank is the biggest fight for anyone at 130 to 147.
I don't agree, but hey, each their own.
No problem. All around strong, DC, stand up.
Who's that? Well, you got no calls. Ain't you got anybody coming in to desecrate me?
I got dozens of calls coming up, but we got this super chat I got to get to from All Around Strong LLC. Check him out in DC. Shout out to him. He sponsored 2017 Appreciation Night. He was in attendance, and he says Tank over Thurman, in my opinion. If he's on his A game, Thurman is good, but Tank is a special fighter. Respect to both champions, though. Salute, Ness. Salute to you, champ. And that's the intrigue of this fight. Some people really believe Tank can do it. Others believe he has absolutely no shot, which makes this such an intriguing fight.
I wouldn't say that he has no shot. I don't know. People silly to say that. Everyone's got a puncher's chance.
Everybody. Ken Stone, Olympics isn't be all end all, but medalists usually become world champs. Look at Loma, AJ, Usyk, Rigo, Shakur, etc., etc. And like we said, look at Robisi, Luke Campbell, etc., etc. So like we can all give out examples, and let's be real, you know. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that because one day.
Do you know what it is? It's what you do going forward with that medal.
Yep. Look, that medal gets you a beautiful pay scale. That's all that matters. You know, now you're going to get beautiful marketing. You're going to get an amazing check. All eyes will be on you, but you got to do what you got to do. That's just a part of it. Like, you got to do your part. Let me get to some calls, though. We going out to Davies. David Maldonado in New York City, what is going on? This guy's a natural born hater. He's been sending me created memes daily of ridiculous Crawford fights. I just want you to know. He's like, yo, breaking news, Crawford versus Ivan Redkach. Breaking news, Crawford versus Billy Dibb in the Midwest. Like, he just makes his own little memes and DMs them to me. He loves Terrence Crawford. But without further ado, Mr. Maldonado.
What he done to the boxing world to be number one in the junior weight division.
I haven't been on the call for a minute, but you know, everybody knows I'm a Teofimo guy, right? And I put him on the top 5 after he beat Lomachenko. I'm going to tell you right now, if Gervonta Davis were to move up right now and stop Keith Thurman right now, despite the layoff, I'm putting Gervonta Davis in the top 3, top 4 pound for pound because, once again, despite the layoffs, a stoppage over Keith Thurman is a huge accomplishment for any current welterweight. So for somebody to move up from 130 to stop Keith Thurman, that's amazing. That will be Tank Davis's Oscar De La Hoya, like when Manny Pacquiao moved up and beat Oscar. But this will be better because Oscar was weight drained and way past his prime. Thurman is still relatively young. Now listen to this, Ness. This could lead to something huge. If Gervonta can pull that off, and let's say Manny Pacquiao upsets Errol Spence, I know I'm thinking too far into the future.
No, I see where you're going, though.
Huge.
I see where you're going.
That would be a huge. Remember this: Manny Pacquiao never got the rematch with Floyd. So if he manages to beat Earl and Gervonta beats Keith Thurman, what better way to get back at Floyd than to get at his protege? What you think about that?
I love the fight. I love the fight, but you know, Floyd got to make that fight for him. He still might be on some mad shit. Like, nah, I ain't give you the rematch, and I ain't giving you my protege. But he also could, like, yo, he's 43 years old. We got him.
He's old. Yeah, that's
but
he's old now.
But he would be old coming off of 2 welterweight big ass wins. He beat Keith and Earl. Like, it's a different type of old. That's a George Foreman type of old.
Would Tank really get the would Tank get the credit for beating, like, by that time, a 45-year-old Manny Pacquiao?
I mean, it would be 43. Ain't he 42 right
Why
now?
not?
No, but he's
Why
saying,
not?
like, if he fights it, by the time that
Your mic. Your mic. Optimus Prime, your mic is wildin', Optimus Prime. Lady Prime, we gonna call her Lady Prime. What up?
Yo, am I still on the line?
You are.
Better. I said by the time
and yo,
that
go ahead, I'm sorry.
He wouldn't still be 43, would he?
I mean, if they make it next year,
now,
if everybody fight this year, Earl's fighting Pacquiao this year. Let's say Keith fights Gervonta in October. Yeah, next year, May time, we could take the Canelo date. Pacquiao versus Tank. I hear you. Go for it, David.
Yo, I'm not gonna make any picks on it because I want to start keeping it more professional. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep my feelings to myself. But I think that's a winnable fight for Tank. If you watch the Manny Pacquiao fight, the shot that Manny Pacquiao dropped Tank with, that's the gazelle punch. That's a Marvin Hagler punch. When Doomie was telling you about that, that's a real punch. That leaping right hook, that's the same punch that Gervonta knocked down Barrios, and Manny Pacquiao did it. You know, the only thing is Pacquiao lets his hands go a lot more than Tank. Tank is more selective. You know, the layoff, the wear and tear. It's a winnable fight, but it's also a very dangerous fight because Tank does get hit, and I keep hearing about that he's a real slick boxer when he wants to box, so he would have to really show his whole arsenal in order to beat someone like Keith Thurman, because like I said, Keith Thurman is a big win for any welterweight. So for Tank to stop him, that's amazing. And one more thing, if Keith Thurman wins, let's stop diminishing it, man. If he wins, he gets the credit, because as a historian, let me put you on. Aaron Pryor got all the credit in the world for stopping Alexis Arguello. Mind you, Alexis Arguello was someone who started at one.
Yo, and let me tell you, it's not disrespect. Like, I wanted that history lesson, but I let you get mad, Tom, because I was doing shit in the background. But I got to be fair, because you know what I mean? Everybody got to get the same amount of time. You got a little bit extra because I had to text some texts, you know what I mean? Get some texts. Más tiempo. Yo, I'm super impressed that you like know that much Spanish, man. That's crazy. But you said you have Haitian though. You said.
No, my grandmother's my grandmother was Venezuelan.
Oh, Venezuelan.
Yeah.
We got Adrian in Wisconsin. He ain't Venezuelan.
No, he's not Venezuelan.
No, he's not.
It's okay. You don't gotta be.
Hey, what's good, Nax?
What up, dude?
Hey, you know, just working, man. That's all I do. But honestly, I think people are really discrediting Keith Thurman. I mean, how many losses does this dude have? One to Pacquiao? I mean, man, I think Tank is great too, but I mean, even with the injuries and everything, I mean, I wouldn't be counting out Keith like that. I honestly, I don't see Tank beating Keith. I think Keith beats Tank, and not only does he beat him, but he stops his ass. I think you get to a point where you break off a little more than you can chew, and I'm not saying Tank can't beat welterweights, because we seen him beat the shit out of Ivan Redkach, even though I wouldn't call him a true welterweight. I mean, I was there in California when he beat Devin Alexander. I was there with Jose. We were fighting. That's where I first got to meet Willie Monroe Jr. in person. But man, I don't know. I don't see it. I mean, I don't think they should even make that fight, to be really honest. They better go for some lower hanging fruit. They better call Paulie Malignaggi out of retirement or some shit. But that's my call.
All right, brother.
Paulie would probably take the fight as well.
Who?
If you pulled Paulie out of retirement, he would probably take that fight. Paulie.
Yo, speaking of that fight, hey Keith, man, tell him give you the Paulie fight, man. They gave him fucking Victor Ortiz, Robert Guerrero. You seen that? Victor Ortiz versus Robert Guerrero's on the Earl Spence undercard of all places. They gotta be having something planned big for Keith, Sham, and this is what I mean, right?
Yeah.
You didn't give him the Ugas fight. You gave Fabian the Ugas. You ain't give him the Earl fight. He ain't getting the Porter fight because Porter's in negotiations with the WBO. Like, who the fuck is Keith getting?
Who are you giving him? Yeah. Who does he got? Yeah. I saw that like in the interview. Like realistically, who does he got? So Ugas is fighting on the undercard he's on the undercard of Pacquiao and Spence, isn't he?
Yes.
Fighting
Ugas is fighting Fabian Maidana on the undercard.
That's it. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you just said that. Yeah. That's just to appease him, by the way, of what, at first it was like, we're going to take back your belt. No, we're going to give it back to you. I don't know. WBA is a mess to me anyway. It's not one of my favorite. WBC and WBA are not any of my favorite sanctioning bodies. They just fuck shit up. But you're not going to agree because they're really good with the PBC.
Yeah. You said I'm not going to agree?
Yeah, probably not. You probably like the WBA and what they stand for with their fake rankings.
Nah, hell no. That's the We Benefit Our belt.
Oh, okay, so you do. Yeah, okay. You're not that deluded.
I don't like WBA Gold, Interim, Regular, and Super. It's too much.
Just have one. Just have the Supers. Normal, like how it was before.
Yep. That's what I would prefer, without a doubt. I would actually prefer one belt per division. That's how Border Wars is. That's how Border Wars is. We're not having multiple belts. It's one belt per division. You can't have people running around here acting like they're champs when there's really a champ. This just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's such confusion too for your casual fan. It makes everyone look like a champ. It waters it down. It's very, very, very unfair.
Yeah, it dilutes it.
Coach J Mac in New Orleans. What up? Are you available, J Mac? Are you available?
So you hating?
I'm that guy. What you want to bet on? Bet 100,000 on that. Let's bet $1 million. You getting that money, right? Easy. Let's bet $1 million easy. And I for the bread. When I him, y'all gonna say he was too weak. On my life.
Okay, bow down, bitches. I'm about to handle business. I'ma teach you all a lesson. This'll only take a minute. Got a part in all this passion in my blood. Niggas hating just because. Think about it. Everybody love Bud. J Mac, where you at? All these niggas hating on me. Shit is whack. So official with it. Gonna check the stats. Hey, I'm out here trying to get it. And that's I only got a minute.
J Mac, I'm gonna have to cut your call, brother. Sorry your intro did play, but it looks like we got our first guest, Abraham Supernova. Did you freeze on me or are you there?
I'm here.
All right. Abraham, what's going on, brother? How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Happy to have you back on the show. Take this opportunity to let everybody know where they can find you on social media before we get started.
Or you guys go find me on Instagram at AbrahamNova22, Facebook Abraham Supernova, on Twitter Abraham22. Pretty simple, Abraham Nova or Super.
All right, so let's get into it. Obviously, you got something cooking. You should be back in action very soon. Let everybody know when they can see you on television next.
You guys go see me August 14th, live on ESPN Plus in Tulsa, Oklahoma at the Hard Rock Casino.
So who's going to be your opponent for the 14th of August?
Richard from, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. He's from the Philippines.
Okay. And how long has it been since you got in? I know we're just getting over or getting back into possibly. COVID is definitely affecting boxing in a major way. So when's the last time you've been in the ring?
Last time I was in the ring was in June 25th against Every Sparrow of last year.
Of 2020?
2020, yeah. It's been 14 months, you could say.
Wow.
Yeah.
So are you worried maybe a little bit of the timing may be off slightly?
It actually, when I started camp, it was off big time. But, getting back with sparring partners and getting different looks, I believe my timing is back, and I'm ready to roll August 14th.
And are you still with Hector Bermudez?
Yeah, I'm still with Hector, yeah.
So you out in Boston right now. Is that Boston? Okay.
Yeah. We in Springfield.
Okay.
Mass, yeah.
Okay. So how is Hector doing?
He's doing good. He's right now in Belfast with TJ Doheny, who's fighting Michael Conlon.
Okay. Yeah, I seen that. I seen that Doheny's fighting him nice. So, wow. I wonder, can he get that upset, man? What do you think?
He is. 100%.
100%. Yo, Conlon, he's been getting lucky, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to like hit him hard to see what happens.
The power. TJ don't handle the power. He's strong. He's fast. I'm calling it a big upset. I got $2,000 in that fight.
Wow.
And catching out with $8,000 if TJ does his thing.
And you pick money line.
Money line.
Oh shit! Let me check what is on in my bookie right now. Oh, you that serious? We gonna have to get serious too. Wait a minute.
Plus 400 should be.
Wow. Okay, so what? He was in camp with you?
Yeah, the whole camp.
Yes, you're right. Plus 400. Damn, you use my bookie too. It is 400. Nice. There you go. Don't forget to use code BETTBV. That is, I'm gonna have to bet on that. Colin is a minus 600 favorite though. What?
Yeah. They're sleeping on TJ. TJ's a former world champion.
Yeah, but you also in the camp, man. You're gonna be biased. Everybody that's in the camp always picks the person they helping.
Oh, I ain't biased. I'm being honest. I don't bet on teammates except this one. I ain't bet on Fortuna in his last one. My boy, you know. So I know.
Damn, you ain't bet on Fortuna?
Nah.
Oh man, you didn't pick your Dominican brethren. I thought he just not technically good. He's got his own style. That's the thing. Like if he was technically more sound, then his power probably would be more beneficial to him. But he's got this awkward Sergio Martinez kind of style from being trained by Sergio's trainers all those years, I think. Yeah. And it's just
he has a weird style, but also he hasn't fought a lefty. Jojo just fought like I think 4 or 5 lefties back to back. So, you know what I mean, that makes an impact going in the ring and you haven't fought no lefty. It's different when two sophomores are fighting. So I feel like that threw Fortuna off and he couldn't do what he usually do with his right-handers.
For sure, man. So now, I mean, what was your opinion of that Jojo Diaz fight? Obviously, he moved out of your division, or are you? Because I mean, you kind of fight at 34 and 35. 30 and 35. So, are you trying to get a world title at 30 first, or are you gonna go to? Is it 35? You'll try and get your first world title. Like what? You fluctuated, obviously.
I only fought once at 134. Then I fought my whole career at 30. But I'm getting my world title at 126.
Oh wow! So you're gonna drop even lower?
Yeah, 126. Nice. I'm getting my world title.
Featherweight. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then 30, then 35.
Nice. So, all right. So you're definitely showing some sacrifice because you also weighed 133 2 fights ago.
2 fights ago, yeah, or the last fight.
Yeah, it says 32, 33, 32, 31, and one fight before that one was 34.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's the one in Springfield. Yeah. That was the last minute replacement for the opponent I had.
But you've been around the scene for a minute. Do you feel this is your year? Do you feel Top Rank is gonna, get you back in action and kind of rotate you on television and give you the shine and promotion you deserve or you feel you deserve?
I already had all that. It was in the works. I had an injury, so that's why I've been out the ring. Not because the Top Ring wasn't promoted or nothing. I have a solid contract. Multiple fights a year. I just been out the ring because I had tore my Achilles.
Oh wow!
So now that I'm back to 100%, I'm back to collect what's mine and get these straps.
So how is that? I mean, everyone seen Gamboa fight through a torn Achilles with Gervonta Tank Davis, who we're actually talking about this morning. So we got to get your opinion on the topic. But how's recovery been? And do you feel you have the same agility as you did in the past?
That injury is nothing to be played with. I had a lot of doubts. Everybody kept telling me my career was over. Everybody was saying, that's an ending career injury. But I told him it's not over till it's Nova, So that injury is it could mentally break you down. But if you stay positive and you stay strong, you'll bounce back like I did. I was able to recover in 4 months. I had great physicians, work with it, therapy, and they said, just because I'm healthy and I stay right, I was able to bounce back in 4 months.
Gotcha. Well, who you brought in for camp, man? I know you're over there all the way in the Massachusetts area. Did you get anybody to come down, or you just used your local fighters?
I use my local fighters. It was nothing. My particular opponent that I'm fighting is nothing. I don't want to say nothing special, but it's nothing that I haven't seen before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had guys in there that fight his style that look similar to him. So I use the people I have in my camp to help me get ready for this upcoming fight I have on August 14th.
So obviously, Avery Sparrow is the biggest name win on your resume. Talk to me about that fight. That was a fight Ryan Garcia was supposed to have, and then Avery had some sort of warrant causing him not to fight, obviously opening up an opportunity for you. So what did you take away from that fight, and do you consider it the biggest fight of your career till date?
That fight, they called me, I think it was 4 weeks to take that fight. I wasn't training. I wasn't doing nothing. It was the pandemic, so I thought boxing had died, and I thought I was going to get some time to get training, but they said you got 4 weeks. You want to fight Avery Sparrow? Me being a fighter, I said, yeah, let's get it. So I went in that fight with a different mentality, not to hurt him or not to go all out, because I didn't have the condition to try to knock him out. So I just boxed and collected my points and went convincingly but easy. A lot of people had doubts on how I performed. If you know me and you see me fight my whole career, you know that I'm a go-getter. I like knocking dudes out, but circumstances that made me fight a different style that night. I feel like Avery Sparrow was a great fighter. I feel like any other night I will knock him out. He won't go past six or 4 rounds with me, but he's a hell of a fighter, and I could say he was my biggest test to date because of his pedigree and of his name, but that's about it with that.
All right. I got some questions from the people. I put out a post letting them know you'd be on the show. And Connecticut's own Coach Myers says, who in your division, besides yourself, do you think has the best skill set? And who is the best Puerto Rican fighter of all time, in your opinion?
So in my division, so I say a 126-pounder rather than me, who has the best skill set. You could say Kid Galahad. He's pretty skilled. I could say he has a very highly skilled, and then probably Gary Russell. And the greatest Puerto Rican fighter of all time. I don't want to be I'm being biased. I think it's the truth. It would have to be Felix Tito Trinidad, and then Hector Macho Camacho.
Have you ever heard of Armani Almestica?
Sounds familiar, very familiar.
Orlando, Puerto Rican, 135-pounder. No?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to keep my eye on him, but some people are calling him. A couple of professional fighters have gone as far as saying he may be the next greatest. So now I'm really keeping my eyes on Puerto Rican fighter of all time, and knowing there's a lot of great Puerto Rican fighters, so we'll see. I don't know. I just was checking, since you're half Puerto Rican, half Dominican. I wanted to know, have maybe his name come across your desk?
No, it sounds familiar though, bro. I probably heard of him, probably seen him, especially if they talk so highly about him. Definitely probably have heard of him, seen him. Just with boxing, there's so many names and so many fighters. It's tough to keep track.
For sure, man. How have you been dealing with COVID? I mean, 14 months is a long time. Did you gain some weight? Obviously with an injury and things like that?
No, it's crazy. My body type is very different. I actually lost weight. I got thinner. I don't really gain weight. I have a very fast metabolism. So the gaining weight part, I'm pretty lucky to be a fighter, not gaining weight like other fighters. But COVID, it was tough, especially going through an injury and going through the pandemic. It was a bit depressing, but I had to stay positive and believe in myself that I'm here for a reason, and I still got to mark my stand here in this planet Earth.
And am I correct? You were split team management and Dave McWaters, right?
Yes, sir.
And when did they sign you?
Probably 3 years ago.
Okay. Wow, because I feel like they are really doing some big things in the sport. They have a lot of talent. They keep their fighters very active. Was that the only manager turning pro, or did you have someone before you got with Split T?
No, it's actually my first management team. Other than other than me being with R. Heyman, as my advisor. But other than that, they're my legit first management team.
Wait, so you're still advised by Al?
No, when I was.
Okay, what happened there? I think I remember you telling me once in DM a few years back.
Yeah, I was.
That's
with
weird.
Heyman.
I never hear anybody leave Heyman. What
Yeah.
happened?
Yeah, I was with Heyman with Samson.
Oh, Samson.
And then when I split with Samson, I split my contract ended with Heyman.
Okay. So Samson discovered you. He usually discovers a lot of Latino and Dominicans and stuff. Did he find you in DR?
He didn't discover me. Everybody wanted me. I just went with him. But he didn't discover me. I was already discovered. I was ranked number 1 in the country before he signed me. So, you can't say he discovered me. Golden Boy had contracts for me. Top Ring had contracts for me. I just went with Samson and Heyman.
All right. Good information. And how do you feel now? Because you've gotten a taste of, I guess, both worlds. You've had some Heyman and Samson, and now you're with Split T and Top Rank.
I feel no bashing on Samson or Heyman, but I feel like they don't promote their fighters like they're supposed to. Even though they keep you active or whatnot, but I feel like they don't do the right promotion. I feel like they pay attention to their higher elite level fighters, not their upcoming youngsters. Unlike Top Rank, they really take care of their their upcoming fighters. The young hungry lions, and they pay attention. So I feel like that will make a difference between both of them. If you have a fighter that starting his career, the best promotion company to go to a Top Rank, but you have an established fighter with a lot of fights, Heyman and PBC, they're good at giving you those big fights.
All right. Yeah, I get what you mean, man. If you're not like Chris Colbert likes to call it a Heyman boy, you might not get the recognition that you need. And honestly, Top Rank does good development.
Indeed.
They know how to develop fighters. They're doing a great job with Jared Anderson. And up until the point they were doing a good job with Shakur, I just feel like sometimes they slow down. Like, look at Shakur, Obviously, he's in a purse bitch situation right now, so maybe that's the slowdown too.
Yeah, and that's his purse big. They're doing it right. He became world champion. Now he's going to become a 2-time world champion. Of course, we want to fight more, but, there's a lot of politics coming in with boxing.
Yeah.
But, I feel like, they're doing the right thing with his career, and they're also doing the right thing with my career. You guys are going to see it real soon.
Israel Weber says, I'll be in Tulsa on the 14th. Dinner on me after your win, champ. Thanks for coming on TBV.
Thank you.
So you're going to have some fans in attendance, man.
Yes.
How big do you see yourself getting? And I don't mean popularity. I mean actually divisions. Where does Abraham Supernova retire at? What division?
Probably 154 or 160. I could see myself going up from 26 to 154, 160. I have the body type. I have the height. Gradually, me and my team, we do it right, especially, having perfecting athletes on my corner. I'm definitely gonna, I'll definitely be a easy 6th division world champion.
Wow. 6th division. Bruh. We're gonna be on that. I'm gonna be watching. That's a lot of divisions. Wow, so 126, 130, 140. No, we skipped 35. We skipped 35. You said
154 will be 6, and then 7 will be 160.
Wow. You going for Canelo status, man. That's Mayweather Pacquiao status right there.
Yeah. That's what we gotta do. I mean.
hear you. So give me the background, man. I know that you're half Puerto Rican, half Dominican, right?
Yeah.
So what? How's that? That usually that's the mixture of all my children.
Yeah. That's people don't see, but that's something that back then you didn't see a lot, but now you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of
very common.
And it's growing. So me being born in Puerto Rico with the Dominican parents, I gotta rep my both country. I gotta rep PR, the country. That's que me vio nacer. and
Oh,
Dominican Republic.
Wait. So now we getting it. So you're like Thomas Delorme. Both of your parents are Dominican.
Indeed.
Oh, but they were citizens of residents of Puerto Rico.
They lived there like 15, 16 years. And to be honest,
wow.
my grandfather is Puerto Rican, so
okay,
that's how we got to Puerto Rico.
Which is whose dad?
My dad's side.
Your dad's side. So your dad is half and half.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. You know, that's exactly like Delorme, except he was born and raised in St. Martin and then moved to Puerto Rico and was raised there, but with parents that are Dominican, and he claims Puerto Rico.
Yeah. You know? Well, he could claim whatever he wants, but me, I feel like it's fair. I have to claim both. You know what I mean? Because it's the truth. It's what I am. And I was born in Puerto Rico. My family, we lived there for 15, 16 years. So everything I do is for the both countries. And I want to be that first fighter that's that's a champion for two countries.
Yeah. No, that's a great combination to have. I just wish Dominicans supported more boxing. Puerto Ricans definitely do. You know what I mean? And they need themselves a new champ, man. But Abraham, we got another question here from the United Kingdom. Steve's from the UK says, "Hey champ, thanks for coming on the show. Ness asked my original question, so I'll ask this instead. Which of the champions at 126 are you going to target? Who do you see as the easiest champ out there? Also, what's the inspiration behind dyeing your beard?"
Okay, so first, the first champion I feel like I will be targeting will be Emmanuel Navarrete. Because he's the easiest fight to be made at by Top Rank, and I'm ranked by the WBO, and he's ranked by the WBO, so I feel like that's the easiest fight, and also it'll be like a Puerto Rican Mexican war, that everybody loves. So I feel like he would be the next fight. I mean the title I'll be going after. But to say who's the easiest, I can't tell you that because I haven't been in the ring with none of them. I can tell you none of them are easy, So there's no answer to that. I feel like I have to fight to find out. And what inspired the blonde beard was that the Puerto Rican national baseball team, they all dyed their hair blonde because of the hurricane that happened in Puerto Rico, the Maria. And I wanted to do the same thing, but I didn't want to dye my hair, so I ended up dyeing my beard. I got a lot of love and a lot of different looks. People liked it, and some people hated on it. So I said, hey, this is a great way to market myself and represent La Isla del Encanto. So this is why I did the blonde beard.
Do you have any connects to any big name Puerto Rican reggaetoneros? Can we look forward to somebody walking you out one day? And if so, who?
I have some contacts with Arcangel.
Okay, I love Arcangel.
Yeah, and he's also Puerto Rican Dominican.
Yeah.
So you guys could see, probably Madison Square Garden, world title, him walking me out. Other than that, I don't really have that many contacts with that many high celebrity. Oh, Fat Joe as well, but that's about it that I know.
Okay, Arcangel is good enough, man. Even though I think his first album was the best album, the one that he had to give away for free.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that was his best album actually, and he used to do like a lot of songs with De La Ghetto.
De La Ghetto.
They was like in some little group together that they did a lot of nice like official shit together. That was one of the first guys I really liked was Arcangel.
Yeah.
But Abraham, man, thanks for coming on. If you could give out your social media again for anybody who isn't following, let me refresh these questions, make sure nobody got a last minute one. But yeah, let everybody know where they can follow you, and once again, where to watch your fight on August 14th. And I want to thank you, obviously, for coming on. I want to ask you in advance to get you on for the victory lap after you win. And yeah, man, we're going to continue to follow your career, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I mean, and everyone, you guys can follow me on my social media on Instagram, Abraham Nova 22, Twitter, Abraham Nova 22, Facebook, Abraham Supernova. Thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. And I'll be fighting on ESPN Plus August 14th. in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, at the Hard Rock Casino. You guys could tune in and support me, and thank you for everything. And thanks to That Boxing Voice for bringing me on. And I'm here.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you. Lady Shan, you ain't got none. You just gonna sit there and let him look at your face all day? You on mute, sweetheart.
Yeah, I was muted. Hello. Nice to meet you. I was muted. But while you was talking, I was just checking out your box rec, seeing you 8-0. I was just wondering why, because your record is quite stellar for for 18-0. I was just checking out, like, there was one thing. Let me just ask you this, if you don't. Un momento, por favor. También.
Okay.
It was you, because you've been fighting a lot of people that have, less losses and more wins. So,
Indeed.
but I was just wondering, what made you regress back to Pedro Navarrete? He's 30 and 24 losses. What was that about? What was the reason?
Last minute replacement. The guy that I was supposed to fight, I think, was 27 and 2. It was last minute. Was in my hometown. So that's the person they could get. But yet, like you said, I fight all winning record guys. I never thought that leaving the amateurs, fighting top level fighters, then going to fighting buns made no sense. So that's what I told my coach. I want straight tough competition coming up, and that's what we did.
Yeah, and you say that you see you ending your career at 160.
160, 154. I could see me ending my career at that weight.
How tall are you? 5'9"?
5'9",
yeah. Okay. Well, you would have to. Would you be looking to make those moves within the next 3 years to go up a weight class? Because you're 27. So by the time 30, where would you want to be? Would you want to be?
By the time I'm 30, I should be at 140, 147.
Yeah. 140, 147, and then drift up to 154 after that, and maybe tal vez or a 160.
160. ¿Sí? Indeed. Yeah.
Ya tú sabes. Okay. Coolio. It's nice to meet you. Definitely I'll be
definitely
watching.
Not Julio, or did I misunderstand what you just said?
I said it's nice to meet you, and definitely I will be watching. I know his name's not Julio. His name's Abraham.
I thought you said Julio before.
No, I said
Chulo.
definitely it's nice to meet.
She probably called you Chulo.
Nice to meet you. I said.
Oh no.
I said it's definitely nice to meet you. It's my British accent.
Oh, I understood.
Yeah,
Chulo.
And I'll definitely be watching.
I like your highlights on your hair. It looks really nice.
Oh.
Gracias, se parecía mucho, chulo.
Well, Abraham, man, thank you for coming on, brother. We look forward to getting you back on after the big win, man, and we will continue to follow the career.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Big shout out to That Boxing Voice for the love, and stay tuned, guys. God bless.
All right, brother. Thank you. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Up and coming contender Abraham Supernova and Lady Shannon are here taking calls. We're going out to the phone lines. You know the number to call in, 14255695241. J-Mac, you're back. Whenever you back.
J-Mac, you back.
Whenever you
Return of the Mac.
Return of the man.
Oh. Yeah.
What up, champ?
Yeah, good morning.
Buenos dias.
I was in it. As far as this Tank and this Thurman fight, it's like we're in boxing in the day of the make believe, and Tank still got fighters that he haven't fought, and I just don't see him jumping over those fighters in those weight classes that beat a Keith Thurman. I think Leonard Ellaby selling Tank to the bottom to anybody. I mean, to the top, and to anybody that'll listen. So he always make these outstanding quotes about Tank, but Tank still got the Devin Haney's, he got the Teofimos. He might even have the Sugar Stevensons, the Gary Russells to get through, and we just go jump and put him in the ring with a Keith Thurman. A top elite welterweight. Has been that active, but it's just too much. I think Tank response was, y'all think I'm Superman, was a real response. I done heard Tank make reference about not fighting these big guys. And I mean, come on, man, he could get a Josh Taylor before that fight. That'll sell. That fight was bigger than Burns. That fight would be bigger than Burns and Bud, and y'all know I'm a Bud fan. So like, I think it's a little crazy to be putting Tank in there. I don't think Mayweather want Tank in there with a fleet-footed black guy that can move well, that punch hard. I mean, if Tank will continue knocking out Mexicans that get squared up in front of him, and that makes him look good. That's the path they're on. I don't see it happening. That's my call.
It's the biggest fight to make, man, because everybody think it won't happen. You gonna get so many pay-per-views off that shock value. Like, oh, they really put him in there with so-and-so. Brandon, is you back?
Nets.
Yeah, I'm
sorry.
listening.
I know why you thought I said Julio, because I said Coolio. Because over here we say for cool, we say Coolio. So someone in the chat said that was it. So you thought I said Julio.
Yeah, anyway. I thought I heard you say
Julio,
and then when you said you didn't, I said, oh, so you said Chulo, and then
no, yeah. I said Coolio. Yeah, someone in the chat said she said Coolio.
Yo, Ness, can you hear me?
Yeah, she ain't called you Chulo, dog.
No chulo para ti.
Okay, yo,
Yeah.
Ness, can you hear me now?
We hear you.
Okay, what's going on? Hey, how you doing, Lady Shan? How you doing today, beautiful?
I'm okay. How are you doing, sir? Salute to you. How's your day going?
Man, I'm doing great. Out here on the road as usual, trying to, get to it. But as far as the topic, I don't care what Keith Thurman does at this point. The big boys at 147, like Bud and Earl, they got real shit to do. So if he wants to fight Tank, while the big boys like Earl and Bud tend to real shit, like collecting belts and setting up Undisputed, Thurman has all rights. I'll pick Thurman to win the fight, though. But like I said, let's just keep him busy and keep him out the way so he don't interrupt what we really want. But that's my call.
Hey, Shan, you heard the hate talking about Earl and Crawford doing real things. Meanwhile, if Thurman fights Tank, that's the biggest name on Crawford's resume.
No, no. You're gonna get all of these types of views from everybody.
Wait,
like
you
never
said
gonna
no.
please
Wait,
everyone.
you said no. What's a bigger name than Tank on Bud's resume?
What's a bigger name than Bud?
No. What's a bigger name on Bud's resume
than Tank? Yeah, wouldn't you think that if he fought Errol Spence, that would be a bigger name?
I mean, he ain't fought Errol.
But he ain't fought Tank. So what are you saying?
And that's what I'm saying. If Keith fights Tank, that would be a bigger name than anything on Bud's resume.
On Bud's record, sorry, my slowness. Yeah. For facts. At 147, for real.
Just saying, though. But let me get to Mr. Is this Checkmate Boxing?
You know what it is.
What up?
What's going on there?
Chill.
Hey, hello, Lady Sean. Hello, Lady Sean. Hey, I dated a few Brits. You know what I'm saying? I know how it works. One thing I want to make two comments.
Don't do it again. Don't do it again. Just stay American. It's fine.
Yeah, but it sounded good.
He
almost sounded like Sherlock Holmes.
That sounds adorable.
I got 33 more minutes in it. Listen, okay, so I wanted to, one thing that she mentioned, two comments. The first one is she mentioned about the Crawford versus Porter fight. I personally don't think that fight happens for political reasons. Why? Because it makes zero sense for Al Heyman to give up half the loot to make a fight to bail, to bail the Bob Mafia out, considering what they've done with Wilder and everything else. His contract is up in October. It makes zero sense. This is just Bob just trying to throw the kitchen sink in, get some money, cash it out. Okay, and secondly, when it comes to Tank, I believe Tank can beat him. You know how I feel about Tank, Ness. I've been telling you guys about Tank since 2017, that he is the one. Now, the thing is, he has the skills to beat him. My only question and concern is the power. Obviously, they say Keith Thurman actually hits harder than Spence. So to go from where he's been to 130, 135, all the way 40, all the way up to that, to face possibly one of the hardest punchers, of heavyweight. Of welterweight. I'm concerned about that, but I think he can outbox him for sure. Keith is really soft in the midsection. He can't take those body punches, so I think that's where Tank will really have some success. And he could get him out of there. So, but honestly, I would prefer the Tank to handle his business at the lower classes, collect them belts, establish himself, clear out divisions. For political reasons, a lot of that stuff not happening. I don't know why, but that should be happening. Anyway, that's it.
All right.
Anything to say?
All right. Checkmate boxing. We got Marcus in Ohio. Ohio runs boxing. What up, though?
What's good?
Chillin'.
Hey man, if Thurman fought Tank Davis, I think it'd be interesting to watch, man. But let's be honest, man. I think at the end of that fight, they'd be putting handcuffs on Keith Thurman after what he did to that boy. I don't see Tank lasting with Thurman. But I would love to see it. I ain't gonna lie. If that happens, I see it. But as far as the Keith Thurman, who he should fight, I think Sean Porter might get the Jamal James fight. That's what I believe. He might get the Jamal James fight. But if he gets the Crawford fight, which I don't think, but if he do, then Thurman might fight Jamal James for the WBA regular. And he's going to be 3-time because you already know. Casuals don't know the difference between the WBA and the WBA Super and the WBA regular. So he's going to be 3-time champion, beating Jamal James. That's my call, man. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, PBC would definitely market him as a 3-time champion if he won that regular. Gado Skype, what up, though? Gado, a.k.a. R. Jonesy.
Yo, what's up? You can hear me?
We hear you. You are R. Jonesy, right? Or am I fucking that up?
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Right.
I made that YouTube a few years ago. Check, man. So listen, I ain't hating on the fight. Like, right, if they make the fight, I'll watch it, right? I'm just saying it's other fights out there that I prefer because I think they, one, be more competitive, and two, they more meaningful to the sport. Like if you get, you know what I'm saying, Tank in there with a Josh Taylor or something, that just mean more to me than him fighting Keith Thurman. And I don't feel like Keith Thurman gets any credit if he wins. And I feel like it's just a win-win situation for Tank. He go in there and beat him, you know what I'm saying? Okay, Tank's great. Look at this great fighter he is. He goes in there and loses. They're like, okay, Keith's supposed to do that. You know what I mean? So it don't really excite me. It don't really do nothing for me. I like all them other fights that I listed better for Tank. And what I was making is these are fights that we've been calling for. Like I ain't heard nobody say they won't Tank Keith Thurman. Give us the fights we've been asking for. That's the problem with the sport.
I hear you, man. Thing is, the names you want, smaller names than Thurman. They never been on pay-per-view, haven't done the numbers, haven't fought Pacquiao. They ain't on the other side of a Pacquiao fight. They haven't been inaugurals. They haven't done 4 or 5 million views on regular TV, free TV. It's just different. Thurman's a different monster. Thurman's a different monster.
I hear you. But you saying Tank sell with anybody, right? He the star. He the draw.
Yeah, but right? Jonesy, the point is because of the combination of the 600,000 that Keith was able to do plus the 215
with Pacquiao,
and that's fine.
With Pacquiao, and that's fine. Any other time you preference that with Pacquiao, but you don't say that for Keith.
Listen, Julio Cesar Chavez did 1 point something million with Canelo, and since then he's still been getting big ass fights. He got the Jacobs fight, he got the Anderson Silva fight, and I'm sure you can mention about 3 more fights, man. It don't matter who you did the numbers with, you done them. They his. You mad. And that's the thing. Because of the combination of them numbers, it makes more sense. You talking about Tio who got pushed back from pay-per-view 4, 7 times? How many times was it? Nobody don't even know what the fuck is going on with that fight. You want us to give you want us to put dudes in fights that like they tied up. Josh Taylor. He had 1,000 people come out here for him. That's it. Nobody got time for that. Tank putting on events, man. He not giving out. This ain't a soup kitchen line. Josh Taylor out here. First of all, Josh Taylor talking about, you fighting for Mickey Mouse belts, but you want this fight. Why you want to fight with my Mickey Mouse belt? Get your ass out of here. This ain't Mickey Mouse money, right? And what you're looking at is this Disney World show I'm putting the fuck on. Let's be straight, man. James Benitez, what up?
What up, though?
Huntsville.
Yo, what's up, Ness? You hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, yeah, man. Okay, so what Brandon talk about that Bud got this real shit going on that he got real business to take care of.
Nothing, man. He capping, man. He a fucking
You know what I'm
liar.
saying? Like, the ink ain't dry. They ain't no contract signed with no Sean Porter, man. He might still be fucking around fighting Zepeda. So this dang on Tank and Thurman fight, man, that sounds like some real shit because that's some real money shit that Bud ain't seeing. Just saying, man. Thurman gonna mess around, and make more money. And why people talking about that Tank need to take care of all this business at 130, 135? Thurman's a much more attractive name. Been on TV much more than all those guys. A lot of those guys are ducking and going into protective custody, hiding from each other. So, I mean, Keith seemed like he got the nuts to take this fight. So, why not? I'm just really trying to figure out what Ellaby knows that we don't know.
Word.
Does he think that Keith still has brittle hands? Does he think that he has like an ulcer that's going to split open wider or whatever if Tank punches him in the gut? I don't know. But I just want to see the damn fight. And, the casual's going to buy into it. Everybody's going to buy into it. And thanks for the content as always, man. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you, champ. Appreciate
What's all
you.
the why does when you're trying to big up your fighter, like they big up their fighter by trying to down another fighter. So but tell me, because I may not be of the knowledge, what is Thurman's base mark of what he gets guaranteed to fight?
That always changes. We're not privy to that.
Okay, so you don't know. So just say you don't know. So Bud gets 4.5 million as his base. So for someone to come on here and then say, well, Bud doesn't make no money, and no, he does make more money. He makes way more money than Thurman every fight where he fights. How about that? They may not be the biggest fights with the biggest names at 147, but he makes more money than Thurman. So when you come in here with your call, at least have facts.
That's actually not true, Lady Sean.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
No, it's not.
It's true. What's not true? Which bit isn't
so
true?
while I take a call, I need you to Google Keith Thurman versus Pacquiao purse, and then.
Okay, but that's one person.
No. You're only as good as your last fight. Google his purse, and then apologize to the audience after we get to James Payne Lethal.
Anyway, Bud gets 4.5.
James Payne is my name, partner. How about you? Standing on my property and I'm gonna see about you. If I come out on my porch, I see you chilling in your wheel. Boy, I hope you know somebody better be waiting on the bitch. James Payne, baby, see me pissing on the post. If we're playing basketball, you might see me in the post.
Top of the morning, TBV. How the audio sound?
You alright?
All right, and we got our UK lady on. Cheerio, top of the morning. So yeah, man, y'all talking about it once again. Thurman and Tank. The more I'm listening, the more I'm like, yeah, man, Keith ain't got nothing really I could see that he could benefit from that fight outside of just getting a big payday and reasserting himself at 147. They gonna say that he was supposed to win if he can get the win. My question is to you though, Ness, like when you was out there doing the interview with Thurman, did you get an opportunity to see him train or did you go straight to the interview? And if you got to see, you seen him sparring. Okay, so did he get some good work? How did he look in there? Did he look like he was fresh? Did he look as quick as you seen him before? Like, I want to know more about your analysis of his sparring and his workout. So if you could give me that info, I'll listen.
I mean, he looked like a beast. He was sparring 168 pounder. You know what I'm saying? Thurman, but I'm gonna be biased. I'm getting to see him. I've picked him in fights, but to me, he looked like a beast. He was sparring 168 pounder, and I mean, go watch the interview. I interviewed the 168 pounder. He tells you Thurman hurt the shit out of him. You know what I'm saying? He been sparring Thurman for 5 years. That's Thurman's fighter. He's getting invaluable experience, but he's a big boy. But we got more callers by the name of AMG in Oklahoma. Actually, JT's next. JT, what up? Are you available? Are you with me?
So
They're not with you,
come
that's
across like a
annoying.
makeup, but you're really a piece of shit. Hey, you think I'm on? Come on, that was a piece of fuck you. That was a piece of shit. You know, we're doing live TV. Man, I don't care. What you gonna do about it?
I'll kill this mother. Why do you have to talk like that? Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem? Turn off your station. I'm the best ever.
Yo, can you hear me?
What up?
Yeah, good morning. Top of the morning. But look, we had this topic on the back call. Keith Thurman, I don't see Gervonta Davis going up there. I mean, I really don't see Floyd even sacrificing his top fighter for that type of fight. That's not a fight that Gervonta Davis can clearly win. I don't even think his power at that type of level, his power will not be no factor. I mean, yes, we seen Keith Thurman hurt to the body and stuff like that, but I seen a lot of Keith Thurman come back and hurt a lot of people. So, man, I don't think that's a good fight for Gervonta Davis. I agree with my brother and them. He need to stay around his weight class and dominate those fights, make his name bigger. Capitalizing on those guys, smaller guys. But Keith Thurman, just like you say, he in there sparring 168 pounders, and I could just imagine higher guys than that, because due to his size as a man. I just think that's a real dangerous fight for Gervonta Davis. Hey, if he go off and beat Keith Thurman, that's a big improvement. That's like a better compliment than Canelo to me. But honestly, I don't see that happening with that fight. Gervonta Davis needs to stay in his weight class. He's too small, too short, and I don't think his power will exceed. That's my call.
All right, and this is again why I think is a great fight, because people are counting him out. People think he can win. It's right there. It's exactly the element that's needed to make an intriguing fight. And it's two guys that have been successful on pay-per-view, so it can help one become an even bigger attraction. We got NO in New Orleans. What is up?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you a young fella, and he comes from the Magnolia.
Yo.
Where they at? Where they at?
I know.
Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out.
I know. One time. Counter punch from JT.
Ness, I forgot to mention this to you, and I ain't trying to start no back and forth with you. I'm just asking you. All right, you criticize Arrow
for what?
When Mikey, hold on. Can I get it out? Criticize you was downplaying when Arrow took the Mikey fight. Yep. And you were talking about the numbers were not gonna be good, this and all that. Mm-hmm. And at that time, Mikey was a bigger name than Gervonta Davis in the sport. But you criticized their numbers, and you feel like it wasn't gonna be no good fight. Mm-hmm. I may be wrong on that.
No, you're right.
You picking up this fight with a small man again against Keith Thurman, a true welterweight, and consider a big welterweight at that. Not a small welterweight like Manny Pacquiao, Mikey Garcia, a big welterweight. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's my question to you. What's the difference between these two fights?
I got you.
That's my call.
So the difference is, like I've already said, I learned my lesson. Like I've already said, I wish Earl was not such a fucking grudge holder. All I did was say that we as boxing fans were intelligent enough to know that Earl was going to beat Mikey, and because of that, maybe 50,000 people would have bought the pay-per-view. I wasn't wishing hate on him, and that's obviously how he took it, because obviously whatever you sell is what you make, and maybe he thought he took it the wrong way. But he showed us that these types of fights are the fights that people want, right? So I was wrong. They did do 345. There was 48,000 people there. So what you want me to do? Keep spitting up so it can land on my face? Or do I not realize that Gervonta Tank Davis is a way bigger star than Mikey is? Do I not realize that? Yeah, I realize that. Tank has done 2 pay-per-views. Mikey never did a pay-per-view till he did it with Earl. And Mikey ain't been on a pay-per-view since he got beat by Earl. So, yeah, I'm realizing that Tank is such a star with the combination of the superstar that Thurman is makes a great fight. That's my answer. James Benitez counterpunch.
Hey, Lady Shan, before I start, man, your highlights in your hair do look nice today. But did you look up those numbers that Ness was talking about? Because Bud only made $5 million for his last fight, while Keith made $8 million. Just to help you out with that.
She don't want the truth. She don't want
just
the
to help
truth.
you out with that, and that's been confirmed by ESPN. That's been confirmed. That's been confirmed by ESPN. So on top of that, so if Tank was to fight Thurman's going to make probably 2 times of what Bud's guaranteed is, at least. You know, because that's a very intriguing fight, especially for the casuals. Let's think about it. Georgia, Florida has such a crazy rivalry and everything. Georgia is Tank's adopted son. So with that being said, you know, they do it in October around the same weekend where they have the Georgia-Florida football game, the world's largest cocktail party. It's going to be crazy all over both states. So it's going to be crazy attendance. They're going to get the money. And on top of that, man, everybody wants to see it. And I'm sorry. Bud might still fights the Pater. And I know that's your favorite fighter. But
JT.
No, can I just say something?
Of course. All the time. You get the opportunity to get back at
One,
him.
you ain't got Shan. So when someone says Shan, and then you're not supposed to come in, yeah? Because you don't tell me about, oh, did you Google it? No, I don't need to Google it. I know what Bud makes. I don't care what you say. I know what Bud makes. I don't care if he made this and that. His base mark is 4.5 million. Tank's is not. So what else?
Tank
to
wasn't.
say? Was it not a fact?
Tank wasn't the debate. It was Keith.
Oh, Keith. Sorry, Keith Thurman is not. That's not what. What's it? I asked you what his base. If you go and check his purse with this, just tell me what his base mark is. He's your friend. What's his base mark?
But that's what I'm telling you, Sham. And please just try to have a conversation. What you're not understanding is that not every fighter has a base, but every single fighter can go up, right? And then have a mandatory minimum, which is the word you're saying base. But we won't know that. Only like top ranks fighters have that public information. We can only tell you what Keith has gotten on paper every fight because that is reportable. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So his last fight.
Why am I not?
What?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, so why am I not having a conversation where you say, Sharon, you gotta have a conversation?
Oh,
like, I'm
saying, hear me out before you counter. Is all I'm saying. Hear me out before you counter, because you're saying, oh, I don't care what's reported. I don't care. All I know is what Crawford's base is, and that's cool. But we also know what Keith's last purse was, and you think about it. If I start paying you $8 million, are you just gonna go get paid $1 million your next fight? Maybe that's the reason Keith ain't been in the fight. People keep saying, Keith need the fight, Keith need the fight. Maybe Keith, like you said, has a high base. And they gotta be the right fight to get that base. But we got JT with a Optimus Prime back with the mic. JT with a counterpunch.
All right, look. I'm not big on that numbers thing, but if I'm not mistaken, this for James Benitez, Keith Thurman got $8 million for that Pacquiao fight, but I don't know how long he fought Josito Lopez before that. I know he didn't make $8 million. He probably if he made $1 million, but if we look at it, we gonna fight by fight, or we going like a year? With expansion, because Bud made more money than Keith Thurman if we go by the last history of his fights, because Keith Thurman been inactive for a few years. So if we go by Bud fight in his contract deal, he makes more money, because Keith Thurman might have made $8 million in that fight. Bud might make $8 million in 2 fights. So I'm trying to see what we going by if we talking about comparison, because I think if we go by who make more money is Bud.
Well, he is coming at Benitez, and I guess, you know, for Benitez's argument, you have a point. But for Shan's argument, you know, what have you done for me lately? You know, what you have done is what bases your next fight. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, you know, you
Yeah,
got.
but why? But why does everybody have to down on Bud like all the time? Like when we're talking about like PBC fighters, everybody, well, what's Bud done? And you know, Bud is like totally trash. And like, it's only a free weight.
Yo, you got a great American. That's a great American accent right there, yo.
I don't understand it. Leave Bud alone, guys. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Yeah. Funniness.
Yo, we gotta get my man Bud's man on this show, man. We need to get him on the panel, man. Bernie the boxer, man.
Oh, is he anything to do with Bud?
Yeah, he's Bud's like man.
Right hand guy.
Like
Get him on and get him on when I'm on, please. Please. We'll connect like Voltron.
Let me get to Stainless. What is up?
Red belt, black belt, WO and green. I'm King, undisputed GOAT, TBE. And you can catch the news first on TBV. Voice of the people, people now let me speak. Scientists of the sweet, BOXING.
I could guess the lyrics.
Yo, GBV was good.
What up, though?
Hey, man, you can hear me, though?
Yeah, man. Sound like you got the day off today.
I do, man. I'm hanging out with my kids, man. They got me watching Black Lightning. We be watching that on marathons. It's actually pretty interesting. It's good to see an all-black cast. I don't know what the production is. If it's an all-black production, but it's good to see. It's like anything. Speaking of which, hearing that intro reminded me. I actually uploaded the that Boxing Bars Volume 1 onto YouTube on a playlist. So I'll send you the link for that so you can put it in your chat. It's, you know, I know that you can download videos for MP3 on there and nobody's flagging me, so they should be good if anybody want to go there and download your mixtape outside of Jesto's song, because that's Jesto's song. It's copywritten by him, so he need his permission. I don't want to infringe. As far as this Keith Thurman Tank thing, man, this is still a hilarious conversation. I'm gonna let it go for it being business tactic from Leonard Ellerby to, I mean, when Tank already doing what he's doing and he looks good. I mean, he jumped up to 140. He's not as powerful as he was at say 130, but he does still have a lot of power, and that's clearly recognizable. But the idea of him jumping up to 147 and taking on Keith Thurman. Keith's not my favorite fighter, but I do respect his skill. Yeah, he lost to Pacquiao. Personally, I thought he won. He won on my scorecard, but my scorecard ain't official, so what's it matter? But he gave a great showing of himself. I remember saying that immediately after that fight on this show, and I stand by that sentiment today. So I don't see Tank just taking out Keith Thurman. I'm sorry. You talking 2-year layoff, Keith Thurman, fresh off 2 injuries, Keith Thurman. I just don't see it. As I always say, please make sure you push that thumbs up. Share this and every episode of the Boxing Voice podcast. This is TBV for life. If you ain't on Patreon, that's because you're stupid. And shout out to El Camino. Peace.
All right. Stainless Wood. Thank you for calling in. I'm looking for my man in Arizona, Mr. Bonilla. Are you available? AZ. No Arizona. All right. We're going to AMG in Oklahoma. Shit, AMG, my bad. I got to get right back to you. J-Mac, Counterpunch, my bad, brother, my bad.
You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yep.
I just didn't want before I address Mr. Honor himself, Mr. Casual himself, Mr. Benitez. Did that Casual say Keith's gonna make more than he made in the Pacquiao fight fighting Gervonta Davis? Pacquiao's out here getting these large sum guarantees, and none of them guaranteed. That's just delusional. Just like his call was, just like the fights that he big up with the Gary Russells and all this cap stuff like that, just making make believe fights. I'm not going to respond to it. Just was a casual, very casual himself. And last time I checked, Bud, if Bud do fight Cepeda or Foot Locker, whoever y'all want call in the ring, he gonna get 4.5 mil guaranteed for his last. And then we can move on to PBC. Oh, we got on and if they accept and her accept the first bid, he can always put his fight in the ring and let Sean strive for greatness and go get that belt as well too. So all this who he gonna fight, tell Sean Porter step up, make that fight happen. Tell L put that money up. If Bob ain't gonna put the right up, tell L Haney get it up.
Cut it. You know, your mic's not good right now, but you know the issue is no, you sound like
Optimus. This is a brand new one. You after the show, hit me.
Now it's back.
After the show, hit me. Give me a mic that I should buy, and I will go and grab it from Amazon because I'm fed up now.
Yeah, you should be. You should not be out here looking like you got a cheap mic.
I don't know. It's not cheap. It's new. It's not cheap.
It must have a short in the cable, or it's so cheap it has interference. I'm sorry. Look, you're muted right now. Something happened. It's just muted.
Yeah, I muted it. It's got a mute button on it. Sorry.
It's sensitive. That mic is like, yo, don't fling me around like this. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say. That you see, you know, these Bug fans, they're so disgruntled because Bob is not out here saying, oh, Terrence Bud Crawford can beat, you know, he can knock out Canelo. You know, he's not bigging him up. He's saying he's losing him money. He could have bought a house in Beverly Hills. See, Ellaby is being a true promoter. So it's frustration. They're like, oh, he's capping, man. Make-believe fights. No, it's not make-believe. You're just mad that there is no fight. There is no news for your fighter. And the only news for your favorite fighter is with a PBC fighter. You know, people who get promoted properly, people that get all the big fights, people that are in all the big fights. Like,
no, they're not. Let's not lie. Let's move along because this is all cap. Go on, next. Let's take a next caller.
So
you be capping.
So Keith
Cappuccino, Capadonna, Captain Crunch, Cape a lot, Sir Cape a lot, Capesville, Cape Town, Johannesburg. Well, you're all of the caping. Stop.
So was Keith not unified champion?
Bro, that's just, you stop making it like the PBC has made always the biggest fights that they don't get in. Right now, they be fucking up. Right now, they fucked up with the whole Wilder and Fury thing. There was a fuck up. They fuck up here with this. There's a fuck up. There's always fuck up. They fucked up with Undisputed. That wasn't even promoted correctly. That was a fuck up. And then the fuck up was, let me stop swearing, sorry. And then the mess up was, we didn't even get a clear, definitive champ out of that. And then now we're waiting for a rematch. You know, obviously he's got to do a Mando. There's always something. We ain't got time. Stop caping for the PPC. Stop caping.
Sham, name the last 5 biggest.
And stop calling me Sham because I'm going to punch you right through the screen. If you do it again.
Shan, name the 5 last biggest fights that come to your mind. Go.
The 5 last biggest fights, active or not active?
No, active, of course. I don't care about history.
Okay. The last 5 biggest fights that came to my mind, I'm going to be biased. Obviously, I'm going to say Joshua Pulev was a big fight just for us. That was a big fight. I'm going to say, yet again, Povetkin, Dillian White was a big fight. I'm going to say Josh Taylor and Ramirez was a big fight. We're number 3. What else was a big fight that I felt that was amazing? Amazing fight was Valdez and Berchelt. Yeah, that was a big fight for me. And I'm going to say, I will say, Wilder Fury 2 was a big fight. There we go. That did happen.
Those are all very good choices. I think that I would have to remove AJ Pulev and put. I'll leave him in because he's unified, so his fights are always significant. Because if he loses, the landscape changes.
Yeah, all gone.
Yeah, so the landscape changes. So you're right. I'll remove Dillian White, Povetkin, and replace that with Earl and Danny because Earl was coming off of the horrific accident. So the whole world was like, what's going to happen? Is he going to die in his ring? Is he back? Is he Superman? So, and he...
I'm not for that. That one is not a problem
but
for me.
he was unified, remember? So he's a unified champ fighting another, elite fighter. And, and you have the mystique of, oh my God, is he back? Is he 100?
Back from the car crash.
So, I got to add that one. And, I don't really know any others that come to mind. Big fight.
You think how Burchell got crumbled to the floor was a big fight.
Who?
Burchell.
I'm not. That wasn't a big fight for me because I think it's unfair the way Top Rank rolls. They gave Oscar Valdez both the fights and they did not give Shakur the fight. So it's like Shakur's mandatory to Valdez. Valdez moves up. Shakur's now in the division with Valdez and Burchell. Shakur doesn't get Burchell or Valdez. Now he's in some person-based situation.
Gary Russell.
No, he's fighting Jamel Herring.
Oh, Jamel Herring. Sorry. Yeah, Jamel Herring. That's going to be a good. Is that a Mando for him?
Yes. A very. Hopefully they don't go to purse bid because, from what I'm seeing.
Yeah, it's going to. I've read it today. It's going to purse bids.
Yeah, but there's also an article out there. Someone sent me that Bob's saying it's not. And that they have a November date, but
Bob a liar. Bob's a liar. Keep that in mind. He lies.
I know. They say all promoters. We just had J Mac say that that Ellerby is lying, or not. If not J Mac, JT. If not JT, someone said Ellerby is capping for him.
I'm more inclined to believe Ellerby when he says something like that. He's a capper when he said who's Josh Taylor, because really who was Mario Barrios, but so you could take him with a pinch of salt. But in this scenario, Leonard Ellerby, with what he declared, what he declared now, I'm more inclined to believe that if he says he can make that fight, I believe he can make that fight. When he said who's Josh Taylor, that was just in a different context. He was chatting rubbish. We already know this. But I'm more inclined to believe Lellaby over them Bob over there, Bob Arum.
I'm glad to hear that you believe Lellaby over Bob. Even though, Bob will be on, I think, Thursday. So shout out to Bob, the Bob father.
Oh, the Bob father. God.
The Bob father of boxing, man.
People need to tap into my news reports about when I mention Bob. He gets quite desecrated, but fair play. He's a legend, but we need him gone now.
Edwin Solano, what up?
Yo, what up?
What's good?
Man, that Thurman and Davis fight is great, man. We got the big mystery with Keith Thurman too, because we don't know how he's gonna come back. So that'll be a great fight. I'll for sure pay for that.
Sorry about that. That wasn't Shan.
Who's that?
That was I pressed play on my video player by mistake. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Edwin.
Okay.
Nah, you're good. And then so can't wait. If that happens, then I can't wait for sure. That's a big fight. They said that he's not striving for greatness, Davis, and now when he does, they give him shit for it. So I don't understand it at all. But that's my call.
You ain't lying, man. I'm glad you brought that point up. He fights little guys. Oh, he's fighting bums. Now he's trying to fight a welterweight, or he might fight a welterweight. No, I don't believe it. No, he won't do it. No, he's gonna lose. Hilarious. Let me go out to Boston.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next, what a great show. Thumbs up, donate.
people.
What up?
Lady Sean.
There, walk on. Everything cool?
What's
Everything
going on, baby girl?
Everything I
Yo, girl. Let me holler at you, baby girl. You missed the other day's episode. Yo, Marius Spike Ness the fuck out of the show. Ness came out with his pom-pom, with his BBC fucking cheerleading shit, talking that craziness that Canelli's not an A-side. That nigga got Spike out of here. He grabbed his ball, was gone. You know what Mario told him? Mario's like, Ness, you raging against the wind. You fighting with a ghost. Everybody know fucking Canelo A-side. And you know what Ness did? I got a million motherfuckers listen to me every move. What you mean I'm fighting against the rage? I'm out.
Can you even understand him? Can you understand him? Did you hear him?
He said that you left.
Oh.
It got a little bit hot under there in the kitchen.
Like a little girl, he got Spike, grabbed his bull, and he got the fuck out of the court. He couldn't take it. Come on, Ned. You're gonna be talking that crazy. You can come here, dick riding for Al, baby, like that. How you gonna say Canelli's not A-side?
Oh, who made the offer?
Is that what you said? He's not A-side to
Who made the offer?
Listen, they all doesn't matter who made the offer. It doesn't matter, baby. They gotta go to him.
I know that. Payday. You want payday. I know that. Payday.
Listen, the only way.
I know that.
His biggest payday would be with Al Heyman, and everybody's mad. His biggest payday.
We plan gonna give him his big payday, right? Plan.
Hey, Shan, guess what else? Guess what else?
That's why I wasn't on this show.
Guess what else? Canelo's highest pay-per-view numbers ever in his motherfucking life was also with Al. And now his highest career payday will be with Al. And that's what frustrates people. You know, I don't go to the easy. I don't use the easy debate tactic and go to what everybody pulls to. You know, the obvious reason that they're all mad at Al. I don't do that. I just simply say he's a better businessman than him, so they're frustrated. They are so frustrated. They call me a PBC guy because I'm telling the truth. There's one man.
You are a PBC guy.
No, Shan, I think it's that you're not really looking, or you haven't been watching boxing long enough. I've been watching boxing long enough to know that
I've been watching boxing long enough too.
So
just as much too.
So then,
go ahead anyway.
So then we know that until the inception of Al Heyman, black and Latino fighters that were not the A side, they did not get on TV. They did not get paid properly. They were late-minute replacements. They were not built up to be stars. You know, they were not put in the A-side position.
As much as he was messed up, what did Don King do? He had his faults, but what did Don King do? Did he not?
No, he robbed. He robbed his fighters, Shan. I think you. I mean, listen.
Yes,
Google is your friend.
I just said to you,
Google is your friend. Google is your friend.
Wait,
if we're gonna talk about a promoter,
come here, Julo. I said, even though we know the wrong things that he did he not put black fighters on?
No, he robbed them. No, he robbed them, Shan.
So, I mean, he didn't make them into stars. This is what we was just saying. He didn't.
But he robbed them, Shan.
Yes, he robbed them. We know.
What does it matter that you made someone?
But Al wasn't the first person to put black fighters on.
What do you mean? You sound so.
I mean,
listen,
no,
you have to.
Al wasn't the first advisor to build up black fighters and make them the star. I'm saying with all the fucking faults, you keep trying to undermine me, and it's not going to work today, Chulo. Yeah, because Google is your friend. Google's just an associate for me. You rely on Google. But anyway, so Don King was the first promoter that put on black fighters. Yes, he robbed them, but he made black fighters stars too. That's all I was saying before you tried to go for Operation Undermine Sham. Go ahead.
All right. Now, my rebut to that is why would you bring up a person that made someone into a star but robbed them to the point of bankrupt? Honey, I didn't cut you off. That's why I sat back. But robbed them to the point of bankruptcy. I'm bringing up a black advisor that is making people millionaires and stars and not robbing them. Trying to give Don King credit for taking advantage of inner city struggling black men is not anything good. He took advantage of uneducated black men that were looking for a way out. Yeah, he made them a star and robbed them. But we can move on.
Okay.
JT,
so, all right, but you
sorry.
do realize. Okay, I did say that, but he wasn't the first guy. I said it because I can say it because it's a fact. Yes, it's a fact he robbed them, but it's not a fact that Mr. PBC was the first guy. Who's his investors? Do you know who investors is? Mr. All Pro Black. I guess you haven't done your research. Google really isn't your friend. Who's PBC's investors? 7 white men. But anyway, Mr. Pro Black. Come on, let's take the next call.
I'm glad that was your rebut, because mine's to that is, why would I care about, and please let me answer, why would I care about who his investors are, as all I care about who's he's investing the money in, Shan.
Okay, I just don't like facades.
Your mic.
I don't like facades. I'll pick up the mic, check 1, check 2. Mic, check 1, check 2.
You're muted.
You can hear me? Yes? Taking the mic out.
Yeah, just take it out. Take it out, because there's only you and I. See what happens.
No, it's not. It's more. It's not only me and you.
What I mean is only you and I as hosts, so maybe you won't get an echo back.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, I don't like facades. If we're going to go for, we are all pro-black, we do this because we're doing this for the black fighters, and X, Y, Z, but then when you look, you have to account to, which is no problem, but I'm just saying, but you have to account to people that are just some white corporate investors that are like in their 60s and 70s and couldn't give a shit about black fighters and just want their money returned.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So again, my rebut to that, which I thought was very clear and a very great answer to that, is, why am I mad that he's getting money from rich white people and investing in inner city black kids? Why would I be mad? And how is that bad? Oh, you're pro-black, but guess what? His money comes from white people. Yeah, and he's spending it with the inner city black children. But I got a counterpunch, Shan. I'm sorry. We got, I think it is JT.
Yo, Ness.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
All right, I was waiting for a response before I start talking. Nah, Ness, I kind of agree with you on both of these sides, especially with the Canelo thing. Canelo might be the A-side fighter, but he's not the A-side promoter, because if Canelo was running his own promotion, bringing his own money to the table, it'd be a different aspect. That's where people get it confused. Yeah, he the A-side fighter, he's the bigger name, but I agree with you. PBC is the A-side. That's the one that's offering the money. Caleb Plant is the other belt. He got his name tied up in that offer. So I think PBC is the A-side. So everybody get their panties in a bunch about when it come down to Canelo, because he's a diva. He could do what he want. I totally disagree. And the second thing you brought up, I agree with you on today. Don King was a bad bring up, because he's a promoter, and a promoter, all they want to do is make money off of their fighter. They're going to promote you to make the money off of them. Advisor is going to advise you to make the best money as possible. So that's the difference between the two. And like I said, Don King got bad history. We really don't have no history on Al Hammond making bad offers, robbing people out of money, etc., stuff like that. So that's not a good comparison when it comes down to comparing the two. That's my call.
JT, thanks for calling in. Looks like we got Elijah in the UK. Elijah, what up?
Yay!
Can you hear me?
We do.
Yeah, it's been a while since I called in, and I want to get a nice little debate going with you, if you'll allow me, Ness. So, why is it that whenever people are negotiating with PBC, whenever it's like I'm gonna use Anti-Josh as an A side, PBC fighters are always trying to make them look bad in the media, but when
must be a UK thing. Our mics are fucked up.
Nah, that Skype usually gives us a restart every now and then. Unfortunate. Oh, I was interested in hearing that.
When he come back through?
Yeah, once it reboots. I'm interested in hearing that though. Like, where is he going with that?
Oh yeah, can I just shout out the sisterhood in the chat, because he's a bitch and you're always a bitch and you always troll me and you need to stop trolling me, sisterhood. You're a fucking bitch. Fuck off.
Whoa,
he's a bitch. He trolls me all the time. He gets run off of panels. You get run off of H Money panels. Whenever I come on, you bitch up and you bitch out.
At this level, we get demonetized for flagrant cursing. If you didn't know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah, no, I do.
You
have
can't
it
just
myself.
go on a curse rant. That's gonna get us demonetized. You know, we gotta eat even though we ate. You understand what we saying?
I get you.
We got to eat.
Yeah.
Even though
don't address me again in the chat, sisterhood. Wow. You call yourself the brotherhood, but you're the sisterhood. That's what we all call you.
Oh.
Stop addressing me in the chat, because we don't care. Wow. I don't care. I'll tell you about someone that you care about very deeply and desecrate her, and you won't like it. Stop.
But why
he trolls
me.
He trolls me, and it just annoys me.
But you either have to understand that you're doing a job and people are going to come at you, and that's the internet. Or I can't have you on like that, because you know a lot of people listen to the show, Shen. You know, we was
but he takes low blows all the time.
We gotta be more professional. We gotta be more professional. Imagine if he's attacking you. Imagine how many people attack me.
I didn't see any.
So you gotta just take it with a grain of salt. It's like everyone has an opinion. They're like assholes. But you can't talk about every asshole because you're making them popular. Look, no one even knew.
There was other assholes, but I didn't address them. It's only because he follows me.
But that's
everywhere.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That no one knew him till you gave him existence. Because it's a video and audio podcast, so they hear and see us, not him. Yeah. You made him popular. Who is he now? He's sisterhood. You did that. Now we know him though.
I did that.
You can't breathe existence into these guys. You know, let them say something legitimate. Then it's like, oh, look at what Ken Stone said. You know?
Yeah, if he said boxing stuff, I get you. But I get you. I hear you.
Exactly.
No hay problema, chulo.
No problema.
Your singing is atrocious.
Oh, what?
It's bad.
What? You tripping right now, girl.
You bugging if you think you got a good
never
voice.
heard singing. If you think my singing is bad, yo, see, it always sounds better when you in sync. I needed a chorus, you know. That's how it is. You see what I'm saying? See how that sounded right there? You feel me? Yo, Elijah, we back, man. We had a restart, man. Talk to us.
Can I just tell you why I don't like?
Whoa.
Oh.
Hello. Too many people on my chat line, man. It's my Drake line, man. Y'all got to get your own chat line, man. We over here, we rocking. Elijah, we back. What up?
Okay, where did it cut out before?
Just start from the top, man. It started
right in
the beginning. What
I want to talk about is, why is it whenever someone's negotiating with a PBC fighter from a different network, whenever things go bad, PBC try to make them look bad in the public, but yet PBC's own fighters, i.e. Sean Porter against Ness, didn't get a rematch. But no, Ness isn't talking about, it's a unification. Why is he not getting his rematch? And then you've got you continuously saying he's getting his highest payday. He's got 35. Canelo's got 35 million guaranteed before. It's only 5 million more. It's not going to make him a billionaire. Okay. Why is it when PBC fighters negotiating all the time is kept secretly and in silence. But when you want to make a fight look bad, you put it in the public. All Canelo wanted was a guarantee. He wanted a guarantee. That's all. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
It's not.
What else?
It's not.
And I'm nearly finished. Let's nearly finish. We can talk. And when you always say, "Oh, who offers a flat fee in a super fight?" You always bring this up. Mayweather did it to Pacquiao, but what happened? They renegotiated. But whenever AJ went to renegotiate with Wilder, what did Wilder do? Oh no, you lowballed me before. It's like,
all right, so Elijah, pick one of those because obviously that's why I said.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, exactly. So just what was the first one? We'll start there.
Okay, the first one is why did Plant or whoever have to put out the story in the public saying Canelo did what he did? Okay, and the reason I'm saying it.
Stop there.
Let me finish.
I'm giving you more time, man. Either you want the debate or you don't. Stop there. I want to do one argument at a time. Is that okay?
I'm nearly finished my argument. I didn't finish it. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
why
but he's doing one-on-one. He's letting you.
When
he's
PBC,
giving you
when
extra
PBC,
time, bruv, he's
when
giving you extra
PBC
time. Forget it then. Cut it.
It's always been hard with Elijah. He's a huge AJ fan, so we'll start with the whole negotiations in the public, right? So Shan, this is my answer to that, Shan. People like to get upset at PBC for revealing the truth. And then they say, well, that's not the truth. That's their truth. So, okay, why hasn't the other side ever come out and contradicted that? So we'll start again with factual examples, right? Because he likes to say, oh, Ness brings up AJ's flat fee, right? Cool. I bring up AJ's flat fee. His counter is, well, you don't bring up Mayweather's flat fee, which is a bald-faced lie, because I usually bring up Mayweather's flat fee in counter of AJ's to show the world, right? You guys are being biased. Because when Mayweather offered Pacquiao $40 million, the world said, what the fuck? No! Oh my God, this is a big fight. But when AJ offered Wilder $12.5 million flat, the UK and fanboys like him who like to, be just fans instead of boxing fans, said he should take that. He never made that. He's never made that. He's just some dude from Alabama. Nobody knows him. Who are you? All these excuses when it came to Wilder. So secondly, the second counter to that and another nail in the coffin is he said, oh, they negotiated. Yeah, Mayweather then never offered again in his life a flat fee. AJ said 17.5 flat. Then Wilder agreed to that again, and AJ said, you don't get a rematch even though you have a belt. Now, his second argument was, you never get mad at PBC fighters for having a rematch. Google's everyone's friend. I'm pretty sure he can Google. Most unifications don't have a rematch clause. But when AJ fights, he has a rematch clause. Fact, Dillian White was offered $4 million, no rematch. He's vocal about it. He didn't accept it. Eddie's on record saying, I'll never put AJ in a fight without a rematch clause.
Good business.
That's what he said too. Good business. So why would I get mad at PBC for doing what they don't do? They don't put their fighters in the rematch clause. Keith didn't have one versus Thurman, versus Porter. He didn't have one versus Danny. Earl didn't get one versus Porter, and Porter didn't get one versus Brooke. Like, what are we talking about? But again, it depends when you started watching boxing, and not only that, when you started memorizing boxing, really remembering what happened and have it on your head. You know what I mean? But I think he had more talking points. Do you have any counters to what he said?
No, it's just I didn't really, to be honest, Ned. Sorry, Ness. I didn't listen to it.
You couldn't hear him?
No, he was saying stuff, but it was a bit all over the place. So I kind of tuned out. No disrespect to him, but I tuned out. Sorry. So you made it more clearer of what he was
doubling back. I want to double back on the whole PBC giving out information. So my thing with this is, now we see, fast forward, some people may still be in denial, but I love my job. I love that I can be the one to stick the knife deeper into the side of you. we just seen Caleb Plant, who isn't Deontay Wilder. We just seen his team, who is the same Deontay Wilder team, offer Canelo Alvarez $40 million. Now, people say it's based off Canelo. We agree. We agree. There's nothing to argue right there. Just remember that Wilder offered AJ $50 million, and it was based off of AJ. Yes. Just like it's based off Canelo. Yes.
Okay.
Here we go. You see someone in denial right on the panel.
No, because that offer wasn't a real offer, remember?
Oh, it wasn't.
Remember we already went through that, and then
No.
that
Shem,
wasn't a real offer.
let me give you one little difference, right?
Hey, that's the way it was.
Here, check this out. Check this out. Check this. Just check this out. Check this out. Canelo and Eddie did business 2 times, right? Canelo said he loves Eddie, right? He says, no matter what, I want to do business with Eddie again, right?
That's what he said.
Okay. But Canelo chose, and Eddie verbalized on a Boxing Social interview or his own Matchroom, that Canelo chose to have him step aside so that he doesn't ruin this fight, right? That was
No,
Eddie.
he didn't say that, but anyway, go ahead.
It's on.
He said that. He said
Shan,
he didn't say ruin
Shan,
it. Why did you put in different words?
What word
I'm
was
so
it?
fair.
What word was it?
I'm going with you.
What
Like
word?
I'm like,
Shan, what word was it? I'm sorry, what word?
He said he's not to ruin. He said he wanted it on DAZN, and for some reason I don't know, DAZN couldn't facilitate the deal, so he allowed. Well, not allowed. Canelo is a free agent because to do what he wishes because the 2-fight deal or whatever was up. So he said, go to PBC or whoever. If they can make the fight, they make the fight. That's it. I'm still Team Canelo, but it's not my business to cross the T's and dot the I's. That was all.
But
that's all.
What I'm specifically talking about is
ruin.
on Akin Barak, right? Okay, I'm gonna agree. I don't want to go back and forth. He didn't say ruin. Do you remember the phrase he used when he said that Canelo took him out of the equation so that the negotiations don't mess up? Ruin is a bad word, but mess up is a good...
He said he didn't get the... Yeah, I believe he said so. He took himself out just so he wouldn't get the blame for anything getting messed up.
All right, now that we agree on that, no, but now that we agree on that whether it's messed up, whether it's ruined, it's a word that kind of encapsulates that. That being said, moving forward now, it's still the same team as Wilder's team. The only thing different now is the person who literally is the one who said the money was fake is no longer in the equation, and all of a sudden the money is real. You see that? Let me just walk it for the audience. You probably got it. So what I'm saying is, when Wilder offered $50 million, Eddie said it was fake. Caleb offers $40 million. Eddie ain't even involved to say that it's fake, and all of a sudden the world believes it. That's just my issue.
My thing is, right, like I don't I love boxing, right? And if I can ever be shown something that's different to what I believe in, and it's a facts presented by, I'm never going to be like, no. I bang on Eddie. His fight camp card was trash. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not a fan girl of any promoter because they lie at the drop of the hat. So what I'm saying is, it just gets on my nerves when I see people that are just pro PBC or pro Top Rank or pro DAZN or pro Matchroom, or pro Queensbury. Like, you shouldn't be pro any promotional company. You should be pro boxing, not of the promoter.
I'm pro boxing.
I'm not saying that you per se. I'm just saying that there's people, what I'm saying.
I know. I think people just get it confused, right? Like, my favorite network is DAZN, and my favorite advisor is Al Heyman. That's it. I wish that the billionaire on DAZN said to himself, man, I offered Eddie money and that worked. I offered Golden Boy money and that brought me Canelo. I had 2 promoters working on my network at the same time and it didn't go bad. Maybe I should offer Al Heyman a budget the way I offered Matchroom a budget the way.
So why don't they?
I don't know. I don't know. But we can assume this much based off factual information, based off Golden Boy trying to get a deal with ESPN and ESPN telling them they had to go through Bob Arum. So maybe it's an exclusive rights deal with Dazn and Eddie, like iPhone and AT&T when it first came out.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it's exclusive at the moment. I think that's what it is.
But remember that Golden Boy was not exclusive. They did not have to deal with Dazn. No. They had their own dates on the network. So, if this billionaire, who's obviously intelligent because he's a billionaire, he should offer. I mean, the rumor for the haters is PBC is broke and Fox doesn't want to re-sign and all these rumors.
Well, they are re-upping. Well, the contract is up later this year for Fox. Mm-hmm. I don't know if PBC's broke because I'm not privy to their accountings. So I couldn't come up here and go, well, but they're broke. That would just be me just saying stuff for the sake of saying stuff. But I do know that they have to renegotiate.
Offering Canelo Alvarez $40 million, which till date would be his biggest payday. That shows that you're not broke. Secondly, go ahead.
No, because if you've got investors and you know that you got to re-up, you may have a little word. Like I might say to you, Ness, thanks for borrowing me like 100,000 throughout the year. And I know I have to give you 200,000 back. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm a bit short. But guess what? I've got this move over here. Mm. And if you just give me some money just to do this move over here, I promise you, I'm going to give you back 200,000. I'm going to give you 2 mil back. Mm-hmm. Like, then, it could be like that.
And wouldn't you call that man an amazing businessman?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. This is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Exactly. This is why I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
All rich people use your money to make money.
Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. So I'm not here to say that they're broke. I'm just trying to say that I know for a fact that they need to renegotiate their deal. And maybe it's not, you don't have to be broke per se, or you don't have to be rolling in money to say, you know what, there's a bigger deal over here if you just borrow me a little bit more.
But
that's
Shan,
all I'm saying.
But Shan, this is the only thing though. Like if the rumors were true of you going broke, it would make investors less likely to invest in you. No investor just says, oh, you got a great business plan, here's my money. No, they say, let me see the analytics.
Yeah.
What have you been doing thus far? Let me see those numbers, But
I'm using more street shit. I'm using more of a street terminology shit. You get me? But yeah, I get what you mean.
No, you're not. You're not at all. I'm just making sure that the audience knows that, like, no one goes into a business deal without analytics. Like, I wish it were that simple. I'd have $1 million.
Dollars now.
$1 million worth of sponsorships, because it's like, now. I just tell them, like, I do 20 million views every time I turn on. And they're like, oh, really? Here's the money.
Here's money.
No, they want proof. They want proof of that shit.
Yeah, they need numbers. Right.
But it looks like we got a counterpunch from Dewey. Let me check if that cleared while we wait here. Let me see if we got any super chats. Looks like we got Dom in Seattle on a counter. Whoa. AMG in the truck. That must be a Mercedes truck.
Dom,
yo. What up? Dom, what up?
Oh, can you add my call into the counterpunch?
Oh, call him, go for it.
And my fucking call tone?
I just said yes, man. Why you keep muting yourself? What's up? Your clock is ticking, man. Tick tock, man. Like
all right, fuck it. To the last caller, the person said, I think it was Trevor Noah that called in, that Canelo was gonna get 35 plus 5 more, so that's 40 million. I could have swore he was getting 40 plus pay-per-view buys. So wouldn't that be more than what he would have got from DAZN?
It would. And what Elijah didn't tell you is that Canelo no longer gets 35 guaranteed. That stopped when he sued DAZN. But,
exactly.
People who want a narrative only paint theirs.
Yeah, and But I hope that the Canelo plant they go back to negotiations because
They
PBC's
will.
always giving out
They will.
Canelo the highest payday.
Eddie Reynoso's already on an interview saying that if they can't make it happen for September, they'll do October or December. So they will.
And shout out to fuck, I forgot her name, because I feel like when Bud comes over to PBC, his payday will be extravagantly more than what's his name, Keith Thurman.
My name's
I think
Lady
that his payday,
Shan. It's Lady
his
Shan, by the way.
what was that?
It's Lady Shan.
Lady Shan.
Lady Shay, yeah.
Like
I
MC
think that
Shan,
Bud's payday
like
is definitely
MC
going to be
Shan.
more than Keith Thurman's. And I got Tank beating Keith Thurman to the body, yaddy, yaddy, yaddy. You know, it just takes a body punch. Tank is 5'5". Manny Pacquiao was 5'5" and got in. People keep on saying, "Oh, he's not going to be able to get in." He got in on a dude who was 5'10". And I know people like to say Mario Barros ain't really shit, but the dude's 5'10". I mean, those hands can still touch you. So that's why I got Tank beating Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's been off for 2 years. He's weak to the body.
Yo, Stonebone Boxing, Colorado.
What up? What up?
What up?
Yeah. Hey, Les, have you ever heard of a contract that don't end?
Hell no. I mean, I guess, right?
So everybody acting like...
Wait, for the verbiage though, right? Like some people put like, oh, if I get you a title shot, it extends. If I get you an eliminator, I don't know. I mean, I can't say no, but that's not.
I'm not even talking about. Actually, I'm not talking about a boxing. I'm not talking about a boxing contract that we can put clauses to get you more money or extend. I'm talking about. Have you ever heard of a network giving somebody an indefinite deal for eternity? Like we saying, PBC. It's news. It's news. PBC, they do gotta re-up. They do. That deal is coming to an end. So isn't every contract written with like 3 years, 4 years?
Yeah.
Isn't Terrence Crawford coming to it? So it's not some kind of news that PBC has to re-up or they're making a decision. I thought you put a term line in a contract so that at that point you can make a decision if you want to continue forward. Like, we just acting like, you know what, their contract coming up, so it means that they failed.
Yeah.
Hold up. So if you made it to the end of your contract without being cut, that means you're a success, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many deals don't make it to the end?
Because Elvis got cut.
Remember, listen, PBC and Spike TV ended their deal.
Yeah.
Why? If Fox felt like they were done, they could have just ended the deal. They could have cut the losses and walked away. So it's not news that a deal is coming to an end. If they were so failing, why right now we can discuss 5 different ways that Al Hammond can get another couple $100 million. He can get money from Dazn. He can get money from Showtime ain't going nowhere. Espinoza wish that the Fox deal would end so he can get all them guys back on Showtime, and Espinoza would do a damn fight card every weekend. He would do that. So they ain't going nowhere, man. Listen, I might have issues with some of this shit that, like the Earl and Keith never happened. Who do we blame for that? Or certain things happen. Who do we blame for that? But I ain't gonna sit here and act like Al Hammond ain't putting black guys in great positions to win. And you never know. My favorite fighter might be over there beating some of his other black fighters up too. So we'll see what it is. And all deals come to an end. How did Eddie get his deal? Nobody cried that Eddie ended his Sky Sports deal. Nobody said, oh, he failed Sky Sports. They said, no, he got $1 billion from the zone to lunch. So if he leaves Fox and get $250 million more from Showtime, are y'all gonna say he failed? Probably so, because you hate the black guy. All right, man.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. See, I don't like to.
Who hates the black guy?
And that's what it is, Shan. I don't like to bring it to race, but it's hard to
Neither
understand.
do I.
But it's hard to understand, no? Like, look. I celebrated Eddie. I celebrated when the announcement came. Yo, Eddie got $1 billion or whatever money they first. Remember that first money they gave him, Shan? Yo, we was like, oh my God. And they started blessing. I mean, he gave Jesse Vargas 1.8, Thomas Delorme 1 point, blessing fighters, you know? So I just don't understand. And look, we called it a blessing when Eddie did that because he was overpaying. But when Al did that, he got took to court. He got took to court.
Yeah,
Oh, he's ruining the market. He's overpaying the fighters.
So did Bob. So did Bob get taken. They've all been taken to
No. Bob is the one that actually sued Al, for that.
Well, did Bob win the lawsuit?
Al settled out. I gotta do business. I settle with you. We move, keep it moving. He settled with Oscar as well.
Yeah, I know.
But now Eddie's using Al's business plan. Come in aggressively, overpay, and Triller copied his footsteps.
Triller's messing it up because they have no boxing knowledge behind them.
But nobody are calling those men monsters.
No, people are beginning to see Triller's a joke. Because you remember when the Triller came in and everyone was like, oh, maybe this is a new business acumen within boxing. It could be something brand new and fresh.
I don't know that it's a joke.
Like, I don't know about that now.
I don't know that it's a joke. I think that Triller just hasn't figured out how to completely do their boxing thing. But remember, they got this card with Michael Hunter this Saturday. Yeah. It also has the locks and Dipset. Now, that's not usually my thing, but Dipset and locks are my thing. That's my generation. It's like, oh shit, they doing that? I want to see that. So, they're new. But I'm just saying again to the audience, when Al came in throwing money and making black fighters rich, he was called the monster. He's breaking the Muhammad Ali Act, and he was sued by two of his contemporaries. Yeah. When Eddie did it, he was considered the savior of boxing.
Yeah, but remember, he wasn't breaking Eddie wasn't breaking the Muhammad Ali Act, which Don King is the reason for of it all, But Eddie wasn't to do with that. I wasn't calling.
But neither was Al, because Al's always been an advisor.
He's the advisor, but that's the way he gets in the loophole. It's the loophole.
I mean, he's an advisor. He's advising his fighters.
It's smart. But fair play to him.
It is smart. It is smart. I think it.
Mira, tu perro. Mira tu perro.
Yeah, my dog. It is smart because he's given and has given smaller promoters that don't normally get the opportunity to be part of the big show, like a Lou DiBella. He was given the opportunity to be part of so many big events in Barclays Center and be the lead promoter for huge events. Dimitri Salita, now TGB.
Yeah, but what happened to DiBella?
He crossed the grain. No, Shan, you would do the same if your girlfriend seen your man out there and didn't call you. You cutting her off. So whatever happened with Lou and Al happened. He cut him off. I don't have to feed you for the rest of my life. Like, we did business. We didn't do business forever. That doesn't mean anything but that business didn't work out, But I think that's everybody except for my my boomerangs in Coach Myers and Stainless. Are you available?
Where you at?
Coach Myers.
Hey, you can get my boomerang to J-Mac.
All right. J-Mac, what up?
Yo.
What's good?
I heard somebody.
Are you there, bro?
Y'all don't hear that?
Nah, you
breaking up. It's breaking up.
You don't sound too good, champ.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Somebody called something. I hear some static in my background.
Oh, that's
Lady
why it
sounded like.
No, it's not me because I've got no mic plugged in. By the way.
Exactly, Shan. Believe me, I hear it. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what. See, the mic. If you get the right mic, it cancels out any room noise. Like you see, because this mic is pointing that way. If she walks over there, you'll hear it. But if she walks that way, you shouldn't hear it.
That's what that mic.
I just keep it.
Hey.
Go ahead, J Mac. My bad.
I'm just keep it simple. I'm more in the tune of actually getting the right fights made. Let's get Sean Porter in the ring. He's mandated to fight him. Hopefully that fight happens. For his make-believe fights and talking about guys jumping around weight classes, I actually never been a big fan of that. I think there's a bunch of superstar fights that can be made between Gervonta Davis and some of the other names and the guys in the lower weight classes and stuff. This is something I think they're just trying to put out there to sell how big of a star Tank is, but he's going to continue fighting. flat-footed guys that stand in front of him so he gets knockouts. I don't see Tank getting in there with the Devin Haney's, the Shakur Stevensons, the Teofimos, and what have you, because Mayweather got him on that same path he was on towards in his career once he got the blueprint. As far as everything else with the money offer and all that, I hate that we argue that part of boxing because we don't know enough to argue enough and just come away with our opinion. So we gonna stick close to the side of the fighter that we support. Let's just make these fights happen. Let's start making these fights happen so we can stop arguing about shit that never gets solved, but the fighters get in the ring. That's all.
All right, and we got Stainless. What up? Stainless.
Do people know they're coming on like live?
Nah,
I don't understand.
A lot of people are at work, Shan, so they use us to work. Some of the people are truck drivers. Some people manage restaurants, so they're listening.
Yeah, but don't they know that they're coming back on live, like that you're gonna
only when you call them. Only when you call them. So like they may have a Bluetooth on and a wireless headset. Like here goes Stainless now.
Yeah.
Stainless, what up?
Yo, what's good? Y'all can hear me? Appreciate
Yes. Oh shit! Skype played him right now. Just with a quick restart on him.
Oh, Skype, you bad for that. Second time in like an hour.
I think it's this laptop, man. It's a little bit older. Maybe it's my battery because I always leave this laptop plugged in, and I'm probably
Yeah, that drains it. Thanks for reminding me to take my charger out of mine because otherwise it becomes reliant on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a nice one at the back of you.
That's the one I need to try and use over here, man. I gotta try and use that one over here. I lost the charger. My daughter, I don't know what she did with it. Yeah, well, the Skype is taking a little longer than usual, but so let them know where they can find you, Shan, while I check if we got any super chats in the meantime.
Yeah, you do got some. You can find me on all social media. At Lady Shan, LadyChann. That'll be on Twitter. That'll be on Instagram. Hit me up, DM me. I do need to check the DMs for the people that wanted me to use their tracks on my show. I'm gonna get back at you. Sorry, it's been a bit of a mad one, but yeah, you can hit me up there. Hit me up on my YouTube channel, Lady Shan Dundam Season, Lady Shan Boxing. You'll see I have lots of different guests. I just have Paulie Malignaggi for the second time. I've had Fabio Wardley. I've had Hannah Rankin. It goes from who to. I've had Dillian White's manager, Xavier Miller. I've had Michael Hunter about a month ago. That was a fun show. I have all different boxers and personalities in boxing that come on my show and I interview and we chop it up. And I have panels. So, yeah, that's where you can find me.
Shout out Mike on Sports. I see you, champ. Catch us on the next one. Today's Tuesday, so I don't know if we have anything in the evening time, but make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because normally we will be back. Next GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. Actually, shit, my super chats. I'm sorry. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, you got to read them.
Yeah, what's up with this Skype still ain't starting either? What's going on there?
Reboot it again.
All right. We got Ken Stone. We did that. Heavy-handed Jay says, let me screen share this. Shan is a rap.
It's a rap. What's a rap? What happened? Sorry.
They want you to come to the stage. They said you need to be at any TBV event.
Oh, okay. Well, who's paying for my ticket to let me come out?
The heavy-handed edition. I'm in love with Lady Shan. Damn,
where does it say this? Are you making this up?
I screenshot it. You'll see it in a few. We got another one from R. Jonesy. Yo, and let me tell you, that man could cook. He made some. Was it him? Did you make the ribs, JP? Was it you or Info Joe that made them ribs? I think it was JP. Be honest.
I can't see the message. Sorry.
It'll come up. You're 15 seconds behind. We got R. Jonesy that says, he says, not mad. It's just more meaningful scraps, in my opinion. Man, you crazy, man. None of them fights would be bigger than Tank beating fucking Keith, man. There's bigger history in moving up and beating a two-time unified champ, the first unified champ of this generation. Get out of here. Cap City, Capadonna, Cape Curdy.
Cap and Crunch.
What'd you call them? Cape Curdy?
I said Cape Town. Yeah, that's Cape Verde as well. I said that to you. Cape Verde.
I know. We're going to use them on them now. Get out of here. We got James Benitez. This says... Where is it? He says, sorry, my bad for picking on Bud, but a spade is a spade. Admit it.
And a bud is a bud.
Is Keith a bigger draw? Numbers don't lie. Play the sound bite, Ness. Well, of course.
Hey, all I see is
Keith's numbers don't lie. Keith's numbers don't lie. But let me see. We got another one from James Benitez. I got to ring the alarm. Let me ring the alarm for JT with 3 counterpunches today. Let me ring the alarm. I'm going to get drop a bomb for James Benitez. He did like 5 super chats today. You know, James Benitez comes back and says, let me get this right. If you make X number on pay-per-view, would you be able to start negotiations a little higher, but can't do a decent number on pay-per-view? Or Bud can't do a decent... Yeah, so that's what he's saying. Like, yo, his last pay-per-view was successful, so, you know, they're going to take that into consideration, putting him in another pay-per-view. Whereas, you know, Bud's numbers weren't successful.
Yeah, the better numbers that you have, the more leverage that you have. Everything's based on analytics and numbers, but yeah, it doesn't mean your numbers are the numbers that you get is that gives you the value of your talent. Like, Bud is still a free weight world champion. He just hasn't had the greatest numbers. Those are 2 facts. Like, I don't use one to take away from the other. They're just both the 2 standard facts, you know.
Yeah. I think that is everyone, but I'm refreshing just in case. And Stainless, you're back. Talk to me. In the meantime, while we wait on Stainless, we got Dominic that says, totally off subject, but is Eddie saying Devin is considering going up to 140 to fight Regis or Mikey? When did Eddie say that? When did Eddie say that? And I would say no, because we had Bill Haney on the show that said he ain't moving up to no 140 or 140.
Oh, did he say? Did he? I thought the plan was that he was always going to move to 140. Like, if Tio was going to move, I thought Devin was going to.
I mean, think about it. If you're the father of Devin Haney, why would you move your son up to fight Regis for no belt?
Yeah, stay dominating. Like, try and dominate 135. There's a lot of money there.
We got Stainless any day. No, ready, set, go. We got Keem in Florida. Keem in Florida.
Wait a minute. You say you know boxing?
Yeah.
What is it?
Maybe I don't know.
Tell me what a full counter is.
Full counter? I've never heard that term before. That must be your term. You must have been busy.
Fair shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit.
I think so.
What up? Is it too loud where I'm at, or I'm good?
You good, man. Alumni status, man. What up, though?
Already. Good show, man. I've been in and out, but you've been rocking lately, huh? Hours on here. But no, I was listening earlier, man. I know the topic of the show was Tank and Thurman, right? I know you kind of took a left. I just jumped back on, and now y'all talking wild and stuff. But look, man, I was on here yesterday on the back call. I got ambushed and bombarded because I said I think Tank could beat Thurman, man. It's a possibility, you know what I'm saying? I think that would be a good fight, man. That's a big fight to make. And, you know, good thing that I jumped on that boat, man, and they bombarded me yesterday and ambushed me. And Ness did the show this morning with the LB tweets. It was like a big, like I was floating in the water after my ship sank, and I seen the cruise ship coming to save me, man. So, you know, I'm glad LB came out with that. And you know, yeah, just good show, man. Again, I think Tank can do it. I like that fight. I think they should make that happen, man. But that's all I got, champ.
All right. And that's everybody, man. We up out of here. Catch us on the next one. Peace.
Out.
Yeah, I did say the super chat. Let me see. Totally off subject. Yeah, we did.
I think you think you did. Bye, everyone.
Peace.
Adios, hasta luego.
Hasta luego.